What is best in life? To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of their women.
None of you seem to understand. I'm not locked in here with you.
You're locked in here with me.
All right. What is it? Friday night? Friday night. How did that happen? Sorry I'm late, guys. Sorry I'm late. I did warn everybody. I put the warnings out there. I put the thing on Rumble. I put the thing in the community thing and YouTube. I said it on X. It looks like not everybody got the message, unfortunately. But Rosie, Radio Streamer, how you doing? Good to see you guys. And look, Radio Streamer got the first like. That's double good karma. In case you don't know, you get good karma every time you subscribe to the channel or you like the stream on any of the platforms, either YouTube or Rumble or X or Locals, which we're streaming to all at the same time right now. But when you get the first like, whether that's on YouTube, whether that's on Rumble, whether that's on X, whether that's on Locals, you get double good karma. You could get 8 good karmas. 8 if you got the first like on all of those. That's pretty unbelievable to me. I can't even believe it myself sometimes. Radio Streamer, good work. First like, that's double good karma. Rosie, looks like Rosie got the second. And you know what? I'm going to say 1.5 good karma for you. Izzy, probably the third. I'm going to say 1.15 good karmas for Izzy. Congratulations, people. All right. So what the hell are we doing? I don't know. I don't know. First comment here is from Hot Retired Chicks. It says, blah, 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 blah. Well, there's going to be a lot of blah, blah, blah on this tonight. So I guess he's right. Let's see. What's going on? Oh, see, Radio Streamer, there can only be one. Name that movie. I believe that's Highlander. Is that Highlander? Tell me if I'm right in the comments. Is it Highlander? I believe that it's Highlander. All right, Rosie, how you doing, Rosie? Izzy, how you doing? Well, you're not really late because we started at 8 tonight instead of 7:30 because of things, because of reasons is why. Oh, Izzy got the second like. That's 1.5. That karma's for you then, 1.5. All right. Nevada, how you doing? Good to see ya. All right. So, hope everybody had like a good week and stuff, even though I just talked to you last night. And we are also going to be, as you guys know, I'm going away at the end of the month. My last stream will be Friday the 20th. And then I'll be gone until the 30th. So I've got to make up time. I got to make up time with extra streams before I go. I got to do a month's worth of work before I go. So that's what we're going to do. Tomorrow night, we're going to do a premium stream. I don't know what we're going to do it on. Maybe I just let you guys decide. Whoever shows up, you guys can just say, yeah, no, let's look at this. Let's research this, whatever it is. Cloud seeding, I don't care. Whatever it is. Maybe we'll just do that. I don't know. I'll put some stuff together in case you guys don't have any ideas. But, it'll just be fun. We'll just fly by the seat of our pants. It'll be great. And we'll do that tomorrow night at, I don't know, like 7 o'clock. Should we do 7? Like, we're totally cash. This is totally cash. No worries. All right, Smiley and John, how you doing? Good to see you. That's a happy face. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the chat. All right. So anyway, but getting serious. So tomorrow we're going to do a premium only stream and stuff. And a great thing to do is get a membership for the channel or premium, and then you can watch a premium stream. Also, too, if a great thing to do for this channel, and Spambot is like number one, probably on the internet in this regard. I'm talking about all channels, is getting memberships for people so they can watch this stuff too. It's a wonderful thing to do. It's a beautiful thing to do. And sharing is caring. Everybody knows that. So yeah, tomorrow, I don't know, 7 or something. I guess 7. I guess we'll just do 7 o'clock tomorrow. Premium stream, and it's just gonna be whatevs. Whatever you guys want to do. Unless it's like Satanism. I don't like that. I don't go in for Satanism. So none of that. But I don't know. Cool stuff. We'll do cool stuff. All right. What are we talking about tonight? Let's go through the menu and I forgot to put the cooking show on to start this stream. We're going to go through the menu, just look at everything we're going to talk about quickly, then we'll get back to the chat, then we'll dig into these stories in detail. We got to talk about this Elon Musk Trump thing some more. We did an emergency stream last night, and it just needs more. It needs a bit more. There's a bit more. We're not going to spend an hour on it again, but we'll spend some time on it. And I guess the Democrats are somehow thinking that they're going to lure Elon Musk to their side. I don't think that's going to work. We're going to take a look at the gender lunacy. Johns Hopkins professor condemns medical malpractice that led to granddaughter's transition. Gender ideology is like a cult or a religion, a cult or a religion. But a terrible religion. And stories like this are popping up more and more and more of detransitioners, the so-called medical professionals. I'm sure they have the training, but if you're ignoring basic biology, I think you're hard pressed to call yourself an expert or a trusted expert at that point. But in any case, we'll go through this. He's calling out the lunacy. More and more stories like this coming out all the time as this mind virus spreads. We're going to take a look at Kash Patel and the Epstein stuff. And he's talking to Joe Rogan here. And I don't know what to think about all this stuff. It's all crazy. But we're going to take a little bit of a look in here and just see what we can think. See what we can figure out between us, huh? We're going to talk about our elitist, globalist, technocrat prime minister, Mark Carney, who I predicted was going to be terrible. And thus far, it looks like my predictions are proving to be correct. This smug, elitist, technocrat, globalist, it's getting to the point where I can barely stand to see his smug face, just like Justin Trudeau. It was painful to look at Justin Trudeau and to listen to him. I'm already getting there with this smug globalist goblin. Canadian economy, not good. Don't be Canada, everybody. Don't be Canada. Whatever country you're in right now listening to this or watching this, do not be Canada. Big mistake. I'm going to show you why in this stream. The liberals are all idiots. You're gonna love this guy. We got some woke Canada stuff. Here's the place. Crime's through the roof, but they've got time for whatever the hell this is, because I guess it's some sort of ritual humiliation for the World Economic Forum or something. I don't know. It's super dumb. Lots of freebies for people that have showed up in Canada 5 minutes ago. We'll take a look at that. We've got memes, of course. We've got fun memes. We'll go through these fun memes. A lot of these you guys sent me, as a matter of fact. Gender ideology, we're going to go through that a little bit more as well. We've got woke mind virus. We always enjoy that. They always are the same, and they're always just as dead behind the eyes. Did you guys notice that? And then the last one for the evening, the last tab, the last bookmark for the evening. Here's some Milton Friedman for you. It's always just a bunch of mixed up stuff, crazy stuff. Although we do have a couple of stories we're going to spend some time on. This Abrego Garcia. My God, he is really breaking the, I don't know, what do you call it? The simulation or something, the news simulation. It's incredible the way the media is covering this guy. It's just so shameless. There's like animals in here. We always like some animals. We got this here. That's funny. We've got that huge lady who sued Lyft because she just literally couldn't fit in the car. She's a rapper. Let's see. You got somebody's doing something. So anyway, there's a bunch of random stuff in here. It's always good fun. You guys are going to enjoy it. And here's Kash Patel in here as well. So I think I got to remember I've got those in there for the earlier stuff. All right. Anyway, people. We got lots going on. We got a lot going on. We got noodles. We got cooking shows. You guys like cooking shows? Like that a bit better? There we go. You guys like cooking shows. Cooking shows are great. This one I find just hypnotic. Absolutely hypnotic. And it calms me. It calms my demons. All of my and there's a lot of them, by the way. Many demons. I don't tell you guys about this all the time. But many lived a terrible life. Terrible, terrible life. All right. But let's not talk about that. All right, here we go. What are we doing? What are we doing? Let's take a look at the chat here. Travis Eve says, Oilers overtime again, energy. And no, we're not doing that today. We're having, out of respect for Spambot, we're having a moratorium for a few streams on the They Them Energy They Them Energy clip. And then we'll come back, because it's always sweeter. It's just always sweeter when, absence makes the heart grow fonder, even though it is the most ludicrous thing I've ever seen in my life. And I will never stop finding it hilarious. It's like nature's Monty Python is what I'm referring to it as. Okay, but anyway, but by the way, Dramus, do not tell me what happened in the game, in the overtime, because I'm going to, it's recording, and I'm going to watch it after the stream. So don't tell me what happened. Do not tell me. I don't want to know, although I kind of feel like I know already. I'm a pessimist on this one. MHJ, hello, how you doing? Let's see. Radio Streamer says, yes, I think we need energy at the start and halfway through. These Friday streams take a lot. After all, I guess I can try coffee again. I don't know. I mean, if you guys really go on about it, maybe we'll pull it out. I mean, it is the most ludicrous thing I've ever seen. It is hilarious. I know some of you guys really don't like it, but it's funny. It's so ridiculous. Let's see. All right. Hey, there's Spambot. Just finished another 13 plus work day. I have zero patience for woke shit. I just said I'm putting on a 3-stream moratorium on They Them Energy. I'm putting even though I personally will never stop finding it funny, because it's nature's Monty Python. That's what I'm calling it from now on. I find it so ludicrous, but out of respect, 3-stream moratorium on it. All right. And then it'll just be, for those that do enjoy it, they'll enjoy it all the more when it comes back. And we do have to be reasonable, people. Come on. Let's see. Understandable, no woke. Yeah, that's after a 13+ hour workday. Yeah, it's not much fun for woke, not much woke, but we do have to cover it in the show a little bit. But we'll get into that later. Let's see. Let's see. Radio Streamer, I have a feeling we can bribe him. It's a 3-day moratorium, my friend. Let's see. Spambot's gone. Goodbye, everyone. I'll catch the stream on the replay at 2 times tomorrow. All right. Well, I guess we can skip the moratorium then. We'll start it up on. We'll start up the moratorium tomorrow night. Let's see. Yeah, get some rest, ma'am. That's a long, long day. Let's see. Spambot says, if the replay doesn't have that shit clip, I'll give it a thumbs up then. Spambot really hates that clip. Really hates it. Radio Streamer, I need to go to work for 10 hours to earn that teapot fund. Yeah, you're going to have to work overtime, my friend. All right. Well, we do have fun, don't we? We do have fun. All right, get some rest. Spambot. We'll see you tomorrow night or Sunday. All right. So shall we just get into it? Should we just do it? All right. Let's get into this Elon stuff. So, from Polytech posted this here. Elon Musk goes from GOP Nazi to great Democrat hope within 24 hours. Trump plays the media left like a fiddle. Democratic congressman steps up his work to pull Musk towards his party for the midterms. So this Ro Khanna, now some people think he's more or less reasonable. I don't think any of them are. I think if you're in any leftist party now, the days of there being moderates on, in the Democrat Party, or they'll say the Liberal Party in Canada, or the Labor in the UK, those days are gone. If you're in that movement, you have to support the most radical progressive things. You must. There's no way out of it. You have to be it doesn't matter how reasonable you can make yourself seem to a reporter, over a 3-minute clip, right? You can't be in the party if you're not a radical, because those are the parties now. They're radical parties, and they're terrified of the radical supporters. So in any case, none of them are moderate, I don't think. And if they were, they would have already left for the Republican Party, like Tulsi or RFK Jr. But I just don't see, like, they want to try and bring Musk. For one thing, most Democrats won't ever really support Musk. They may laugh at the fight between Musk and Elon Musk, Musk and Donald Trump, and they won't make a Pride Month joke about it because that will get them canceled. But they'll make fun of it. But once you've been demonized, once you've been made Hitler, right? They actually have been saying, and pretending to actually believe it, that Elon Musk did a Nazi salute. He's definitely a Nazi. That's the only explanation for somebody moving their arm in that way. No matter if every Democrat has a picture of themselves doing exactly the same thing, or Cory Booker putting his hand on his heart, putting his hand up, doesn't matter. He's been labeled a Nazi, so he can never be a Democrat hero. Right? Then they'd be supporting a Nazi. So they could make fun of it, and maybe, a guy like Ro Khanna could dream about bringing him in, but Elon Musk doesn't like the Democrats anyway. He hates them. Like, he's made that pretty clear. Like, he's made it perfectly clear that the Democrats want to create a one-party state and destroy free speech. I mean, this is why he bought X, right? To save free speech. Like, he's not going to become a Democrat. That's ridiculous. In fact, I fully expect the two of them will end up forming some sort of alliance again, Trump and Elon Musk, because it just makes too much sense. But let's take a look here. Democratic congressman steps up his work to pull Musk towards his party for the midterms. Not gonna happen. I'm not buying this. Representative Ro Khanna, Democrat California, talked with one of Elon Musk's senior confidants on Thursday about whether the ex-Doge leader, now feuding with Donald Trump, might want to help the Democratic Party in the midterms. So, yes, an anonymous senior confidant. So who is that? Is that somebody who met Elon, or who saw Elon Musk walk by on the street, 3 years ago? Usually that's about as much as it means. Quote, having Elon speak out against the irrational tariff policy, against the deficit exploding Trump bill. Yeah, so they're really worried about the deficit now, the Democrats, obviously, and the anti-science coming from the people who think that men can turn into women, that men can be pregnant, and anti-immigrant agenda. So the people who want a secure border and don't want 20 million people pouring over their borders illegally over a 4-year period, can help check Trump's unconstitutional administration from the people who tried to destroy Joe Biden's political competitor, bankrupting him and charging him with a bunch of false gibberish. Khanna told Semaphore on Friday. So It's a lot. I look forward to Elon turning his fire against MAGA Republicans instead of Democrats in 2026. No, he's going to turn, if he's going to turn his fire on anybody, it's going to be against both. You think you're going to trick Elon Musk into thinking that you're going to shrink the deficit, you're going to shrink the debt? He's not going to believe that. What's most likely is that he will end up forming some sort of alliance back with Trump again. That is my expectation. Or he just runs his businesses. Kana, who has known Musk for more than a decade, has long argued that Democrats unwisely pushed him away from their party. Here's the thing. They are what they are, right? In Canada, the Liberal Party is the Liberal Party. It's a radical progressive party. It's not your father's Liberal Party anymore. It's this new thing. Justin Trudeau turned it in 10 years ago. Justin Trudeau transformed it into a progressive party, a radical authoritarian leftist party. And that's what it is now. Everybody in it is that. The Democrats are that as well. So pushed him away from it's what they are is what pushed him away from them. They can't be anything else, right? They need to completely reinvent themselves, right? Elon Musk does not want authoritarian government censorship. He feels that this is a threat to Western civilization. Okay, so the party of authoritarian extreme government censorship is not going to lure the free speech guy Elon Musk to them. All right, I know X isn't perfect, right? But it's a lot better than it was. So that's just simply not going to work. Whatever is happening with Trump, right? I would be absolutely shocked and flabbergasted if that were to happen in any kind of serious way. Maybe he will make some joke about it to try and irritate Trump. I don't know. But Elon Musk is still fairly well aligned with some Republicans, right? He's not aligned with any Democrats, or at least not any Democrats that are still with the Democrats. All right. So, yeah, I think that's just completely just like a fantasy. That's just not going to happen. What do you guys have to say about it? And actually, give me 1 second. I forgot to bring my coffee tier. I'll be 10 seconds, all right? Man, it is getting warm out here already. I'm already sweating just doing this. All right. It's only going to get worse. Only going to get worse. All right. What do we got going on here? Let's see. I want to see what you guys are saying. Rosie says, Richie, I hate energy too. Do you hate me? Of course I don't hate you. I don't hate anybody. I don't hate you guys just because you hate the they them energy. I don't. In fact, I'm giving you guys a break. I'm cutting you guys a break, a moratorium on a few days before I play what I think right now is the most sublimely hilarious, ridiculous thing I've ever seen. I call it nature's parody. But not tonight. Not tonight. Let's see. Izzy says, have to say I love to hate the energy clip. It's just so ridiculous. All right. Nevada says, Trump wasn't interested in Elon's pick to run NASA. I think that's what pissed Elon off. I don't know. I mean, Elon has been talking about the debt for years. right? And everything I've seen from him, he seems to and this is going back a while. He seems to before he teamed up with Trump, he seems to genuinely have this conviction that it's an existential threat. And is he wrong? I mean, the only question is when, right? So again, like, can I say they're both right? Trump and Elon are like, I don't want to pick a side here. I like them both, right? And I think that they both are extremely valuable. I think that I really would have preferred for Trump, considering he doesn't have to, he's not running again. Like he doesn't have to keep doing his strategy of just always attacking. You know, it's worked very well for him. It's worked extremely well. Obviously, he's the president again. But if if he had just said, "Look, Elon, I understand your concerns. You've done a great job, but you know what? Right now we're going to grow the economy because we need to do that. We're going to grow the economy faster than we grow the debt, and then we can really start cracking down on it." Which is the plan, right? Like, would anybody have been mad if he'd done that, right? And then Elon would have said, "Okay, I'm just really concerned about this." Blah blah blah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's just what I kind of feel like. Let's see. Nevada says the guy was a hardcore Democrat. Are you talking about Musk? Musk was never a hardcore Democrat. He was a Democrat. He voted. He was the default Democrat. Many people that vote Democrat or Liberal Party or Labor, whatever, they're just default. It's just reflexive. You know, that's just kind of the milieu that they've existed in, where everybody just does the same thing. Nobody really looks into it too closely. They just know, well, this is kind of like what the people around me do. I do that as well. I'm generally for empathy or something, as long as I don't really think about what that means. Turtle says, yes, the dipshit for NASA. I don't know anything about him. Nevada says, does he mean True China. True China. Where is he right now? He's probably in Jamaica in blackface right now, I would say. Justin Trudeau, or as some people call him, Justin True China. Let's see. Let's see what else you guys saying. You guys are busy in the chat. It was a really spectacular chat last night. You guys were awesome in the chat. There was a lot of good insights. Jammer says, can I tell you the Montreal Alouettes won against the Toronto Argonauts? Sure. Don't care. I stopped watching the CFL years ago. Really, I stopped watching team sports in 2020 at the height of the BLM thing, and every league had to become political suddenly. And I just went, you know what? I'm wasting too much time. This is the perfect opportunity to just reclaim my time from all of these sports leagues, the NHL, the NBA, NFL, CFL, all of these, wasting my life watching this stuff. And it's only that, and then what I did was I went to boxing Saturdays. So Saturday's boxing. I mean, there's some fights on Fridays and stuff, but the real big fights are on Saturday. So one day a week, I get the sports fix, and boxing is awesome. And there's no politics in boxing. There's like zero politics in boxing, which is perfect. There's nobody to piss you off. You can just enjoy the sport. I think it is the best sport. I think those guys, if anybody deserves their paycheck, it's those guys, because they're risking it all every time they get in the ring. And it's a beautiful sport and a brutal sport, and it's a great sport. But I did get drawn back in by my kids into the hockey, just watching the odd game with them, because the only time I'd see them is if they, hey, do you want to come over and watch a game and have a pizza? So, and I don't watch regular season, but I want a Canadian team to win the Stanley Cup. And I've watched every game, but in the finals, I do want to watch the game. So I'm going to record them if I can't watch them. All right. And I'll be watching tonight after this stream. Let's see. Radio Streamer says the EV tax credits have been removed. It's a 50% reduction in company revenue for Musk. He's been saying those should be removed for years. And hold on, let me show you something. I've got something here for you. We're going to get to it anyway, I think. But here we go. So when is this from? This is me in 2021, Elon Musk posted. So this is 4 years ago. Let's take a look.
We don't need the $7,500 tax credit. I would say, honestly, I would just can this whole bill. Don't pass it. That's my recommendation.
What about the support though for the
Yeah, you can see there at 2021
charging network? I mean, there are parts of this bill and no.
No, I mean, do we need support for gas stations? We don't. So there's no need for this for support for a charging network. I would delete it. Delete.
Okay, all right.
I'm literally saying get rid of all subsidies, but also for oil and gas. We don't need the 70.
Yeah, so he's literally saying get rid of all subsidies there. So that didn't piss off. He's been asking for that for years, right? To say we don't need them, just nobody should have them. We don't want them. Tesla shouldn't have them, but nobody should have them, right? Like a fair playing field at least. But for years he has been saying this. Hold on a sec. Let's see. Turtle says it's all about the commies. Tesla in China. What's going on with commies in South Korea? I don't know. Yeah, apparently the South Koreans, they got a new commie or socialist prime minister or president. I'm not sure what they have there. But yeah. Thing is that China's not even communist anymore. It's morphed into communism, sister ideology, fascism. Right. I think it's a great tragedy of the Western world that we've essentially been lied to, so that National Socialism, for instance, in Germany has been called right wing, even though it's got that socialism bit right in the name. The National Socialist Workers' Party, right? It sounds pretty left wing to me. I mean, he was elected with lots of promises for all kinds of socialism, socialist, public works, all of that, healthcare. They had ration cards and stuff, right? There was plenty of socialism in that. I think it was seen by the elites and the establishment in Germany as kind of a compromise to keep the actual communists from taking over. But it's just a sister ideology. It's not a big surprise that China just kind of shrugged and became fascist. These are both collectivist, worshiping the state ideologies. It's not a big stretch. All of a sudden you have capitalism with Chinese characteristics in China, and you go from communist to fascist. Boom. They're both left-wing ideologies. There's no individualism. There's no individualism in either of them. Let's see. Nevada said, talking about the guy Elon picked for NASA. I don't actually know anything about that guy. Let's see. Radio Streamer says, so I think that and his NASA pick being denied, being used to buying positions, maybe all it is. I think the EV tax credits being removed pissed him off 6 minutes ago. Well, we just did show that clip. For years, he's been saying we don't need them, to get rid of them. The tax credits. I think I think that, and this is not, I'm not criticizing Trump here either, right? Because these are both unique, singular figures who the only way they could get to the positions that they're in the way that they have is by just being who they are, and nobody else is like them, right? And you're just going to have to expect a little bit of chaos and a little, like, they're not going to act like normal people because they're not, right? You just kind of have to shrug and go, okay, this will get worked out because they're too smart for it not to. Now, I think that Musk it's I think he's acting on genuine principle. He's been saying for years that the national debt is an existential risk to the West, to the United States, right? Like he's been very, very concerned about that for a long time. I think I'm not a mind reader, but I can hear what he's actually said. I've been following him, right? We all have, right? I don't see any reason not to believe it when he says that stuff. I think in terms of ego stuff, I think he felt betrayed after spending time with Doge and making what were pretty substantial cuts, 160 or 180 billion dollars, but then to see the bill and just see it's just dwarfed. Like, why even bother, right? I think that has something to do with it. MHJ says, Musk and Trump are two shrewd dudes. Could this feud be planned and expertly performed? We may be being played by experts, maybe find out later. The only thing that makes me doubt that is the Epstein stuff. I don't think you throw the Epstein bomb in there if it's a play, if it's a stage play. If it's just being done, for the cameras, for some purpose. I don't think you throw the Epstein in. I don't think Trump's going to agree to have that thrown at him. So I don't think so. I think what you've got is two extraordinary people who are not going to act like normal people because they're not. Rosie says, I still think it's a psyop and a distraction. Look, I could be wrong. I could absolutely be wrong, and I have been wrong. I know that I can be wrong because I've been wrong many times. Let's see, Turtles, Celebrity Deathmatch. UFC is happening tonight. Will Elon show up? I don't know. I know he does like the UFC. I know Trump loves the UFC. Dramus, I hesitate to even read this. What a horrible thing to write, Dramus. He says that he'd like to buy Trujina, a farm in South Africa. Ooh. That's just downright mean. Really mean. All right. That's your hardcore, Travis. Hardcore. All right. Let's see. All right. Mickey says, how you doing, Mickey? I heard Trujina. Trujina, they call him Trujina because he's a man, but also he's a vagina. So Trujina, everybody says so. I heard Trujina bought a house in Newfoundland with his pregnant girlfriend. I heard something about that too. Do you think that maybe like Trudeau had like a uterus implant or something and he's pregnant? It wouldn't be surprising. I think that's a safer bet. Let's see. Jayham says, how you doing, Jayham? I think this drama distracts us from the failures of the Republicans. We elected them to get things done, but instead of a bunch of focus bills, they insist on one giant Franken bill. JM's got a great point here. Like it has to be endlessly frustrating, right? Like it's over 1,000 pages. Might be like 1,200 pages, something like that. I think one of you guys mentioned last night in the chat. It's like anyway, it's over 1,000 pages. They give them 72 hours to read it. The only thing that can read that is AI. Right? So even if you just had each a little recap of or digest of each a segment of it, each piece of it, that's still too much for a person really to properly absorb. So it does seem to be obviously designed just to get pork through. And it seems to be a problem. Radio Streamer says men can get pregnant. No, but if a man could get pregnant, would you bet against Trudeau? Would you bet against him? Or as some people call him, True-gina. True-gina. Half man, half vagina. All right. Let's see. Turtles makes a really salient point here. Says, retards are everywhere. This is why I love you guys. Nobody asked, who's his girlfriend? Pete, I'm not going to say that. I will say some people call him Pete Booty Juice. Pete Booty Juice. Rosie says, did he give her a friendship bracelet? Trudeau, probably a bunch of them with a big shit-eating grin on his face. Izzy says, yeah, he was probably upset. I think we're talking about Elon here. He was probably upset about the debt ballooning and likely a fight that happened over it behind closed doors that resulted in Elon leaving. I mean, that sounds reasonable to me. And Nevada says that he wants Greenland. Maybe Christmas. All right. And Nevada says, come on, man, let's go. All right. So how are we doing? Do we have, how do you guys feel about coffee? How do you guys feel about that? Guess we'll find out. Listen to this. Still haven't tried 1775 coffee? Now's your shot. The 1775 starter kit just dropped. Only 1,000 units. That is exclusive, my friends. Could you be that lucky? You're getting the bold, dark roast that hits harder than a CNN fact check. Still don't understand that line. The smooth, medium roast and the Vitality mushroom coffee for clean energy and laser focus. And no crash, no commies. All single origin, small batch, toxin free, and mold free. Mold is gross. Plus, you're also getting a gold spoon clip because freedom isn't scooped with plastic, my friend. A frother strong enough to stir up your coffee and your mother-in-law's political opinions. And a black 1775 tumbler that says, I don't take life advice or caffeine from a woke sea witch. Have you checked to see if she's a commie? $170 worth of coffee and gear. Yours for, I can never believe it. I can never believe I'm saying this. Only $99. My friends, that's less than $100. This is for the ones who've been watching 1775 blow up on Rumble, wondering if it's actually worth it. Spoiler alert, it is. Go to 1775coffee.com/studio. /studio, people. Don't forget that studio and grab your starter kit before they're all gone. They're going fast. There's only 1,000 of them. Bold beans, clean fuel, and a morning routine that stands for something, just like Rumble does. Start your day with coffee that actually backs what you believe. It's not made by commies. Whoa. I was on fire. I left my body when I was doing that ad read right there. Honestly, I left my body. I was floating above myself in my home studio here, watching myself do that ad read. That was something else. I think I was born for it. If I could just do that ad over and over and over again, all day long, every day, including Sundays, I think I'd be really happy. If they paid me $1 million a day, will it ever happen? A man can dream. JDL, how you doing? JDL makes a great point here. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Did you even know that when you hit the like button, you get free karma? You get free karma from this channel. See, what happens is, now listen, what happens is, while I'm preparing for the show, I'm building up this reservoir of good karma. And at first I thought, this is great. I'll keep all this good karma for myself. Nothing bad will ever happen to me again. But then I realized that's bad karma because it's greed. So I realized I have to give it away and then just keep producing more good karma. That's why I have this show. I would die if I couldn't get rid of this. The doctors told me I had to do this. So when you relieve me of some of that good karma. You get it in these troubled times. Can you really afford to turn your back on that? I wouldn't. Not in these troubled times, my friend. And if you don't, I will literally die. So you got to do it. And also, when you subscribe to the channel, that's a really important thing that everybody's doing right now. So even though Trump and Elon Musk can't agree on much right now, I'm sure they would both agree on subscribing to this channel and also liking the stream. So yeah, that's really good. And also, Radio Streamer says 10 out of 10 levels of commie hate. Finally got my broken Mark statue. That's a rating on my coffee ad read. And thank you very much, because 10 out of 10, I think, is the most you can get out of 10. Sometimes Rosie has a number that's more than 10 out of 10, and that's also good. All right. Oh, maybe we should just get back to it. Let's see. Izzy says 1,000 units. I'll take it. That's just the right amount of commie hate in my coffee. There we go. 1776 out of 10 rating on the ad read. I believe that is the most you can get out of 10. Rosie says, great ad read, commie hate, extra gifts, nice enthusiasm, growls, and coffee. Again, 1776 out of 10, which again is the most you can get out of 10. All right, so I'm glad we got all that sorted. I better have some coffee, though, because we're not doing any They Them Energy tonight. I put a moratorium on that for a few streams. So we'll have to get our energy the old-fashioned way, not by hilariously ludicrous woke videos. All right, so maybe we'll do a bit more of this Elon Musk stuff and Trump stuff. All right. Did I have anything else important? We did a big, long stream on this, an emergency stream on it last night. So what's this? That was for, okay. Hold on. Let's try and, oh yeah, okay. So here we go. Elon Musk is now posting this silly stuff. The America Party, Elon Musk, the people have spoken. No, Elon, just quit at this point. I mean, he's done an enormous amount for Western civilization in my mind, right? But this is just silly. Like, just stop the silliness at this point. The people have spoken. A new political party is needed in America to represent the 80% in the middle. And exactly 80% of people agree. This is fate. I don't know. Is this a joke? It may be a joke. It may be a joke. It's hard to tell I mean, he's got that Asperger's. It's like pronounced like ASP, like Asperger's. I prefer to say Asperger's because I think we can all agree it's funnier that way. I think Asperger's, but it's actually Asperger's. But anyway, I think we've noticed over the years that his sense of humor can be a little bit peculiar, right? So you never know when he's actually just joking. But I just, as a rebuttal to this, I mean, what percentage of the American public is in favor of him Trump shutting down the border? Like, what's, like, maybe you guys can look it up. Like, what is the, I'm sure it's like 60% or 70% or something, like Trump on the border. I think his approval is very high for that, right? It's like 60, 70%, I think. I know his approval overall is, is not at that. But he's, I believe, I think with Rasmussen has him above water, plus 1 or 2 points or something. But a lot of his policies are actually very popular. So, I mean, do you need really another party, right? So if he's doing something that's popular, like the main thing, the most important issue really was the border. Like, that had to be stopped right away. That was really the main existential threat in most people's minds. In fact, in most Western countries, that is the main concern. I know in Canada, that is the biggest concern. I know the UK, across Europe, immigration is the biggest concern, whether it's legal or illegal. So when you think of it in that way, I mean, why do you need another party? I mean, the biggest thing is getting dealt with, has been dealt with. Now, there's the issue of actually trying to get rid of the people that Biden let in. But the border's shut. The border's tight, right? It's maybe not airtight, but it's pretty tight. It's the most in decades. It's the best it's been in 40 years or something. So I think it's kind of false to say that there's just the people aren't being represented. I don't think that's true. Okay. Scott Adams says, the first rule of persuasion is getting attention for your topic. Elon's score A+. So you're not allowed to say mean things about Scott Adams because he's dying. So don't. Just don't. Let's all just have a bit of compassion, shall we? But I like Scott Adams, and the reason I like Scott Adams is he never lets his own personal feelings get in the way. He's just analyzing things. He's analyzing persuasion here. And he's not picking favorites or anything like that. He's just, as somebody who has studied and practiced persuasion, he's just looking at the game, right? So he's saying Elon's score is A+. Ordinary complaining about the big, beautiful bill wasn't getting anything done. The counter is sleepwalking into a debt disaster. Now we're paying attention. Put Stephen Miller and Elon Musk in the same room and turn on the camera, please. We're all ears. Well, there's somebody underneath who disagrees with it. Let's take a look. I actually disagree with this. If Elon wanted the focus to be on the big, beautiful bill, he wouldn't have attacked Trump personally about the Epstein stuff. I love Elon, but he let his emotions get the best of him yesterday, which was awful for America. Maybe I'll reiterate my thoughts on that in a second, because we covered this last night, my thoughts on that whole Epstein thing. But first, let's see what Scott Adams says. He attacked the big, beautiful bill first. No real impact. Is Trump on the Epstein list or is Elon lying? Scott Adams says neither. Elon claims no knowledge. So interesting. He's just looking at it from a persuasion perspective. And now I think you have to say the focus is on the big, beautiful bill. Like it's getting attention that it maybe wasn't getting before. There's a level of awareness about it, right? Because yes, it has passed Congress, but it still has to pass the Senate. So changes would be made regardless before it's passed through the Senate. So this does bring it back and give it an urgency or more urgency than it would have had. So that's interesting. Now, I want to reiterate what I said last night, because the real X post, right? Like the big one, the nuclear bomb was this one. Elon Musk, time to drop the really big bomb. Real Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That is the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day, Donald J. Trump. Now, we all know, obviously, if there were anything, no matter how tenuous, linking Trump to any kind of wrongdoing with Epstein, that would have been in the public eye long ago. You think the Democrats would hold on to that? Like, even if it implicated some of them, they'd throw their own to the wolves in a second to get Trump. We know. I mean, look, they tried to destroy Trump. They tried to destroy him in the courts, right? They changed laws to try and destroy him. They tried to put him in prison. They tried to bankrupt him. There were assassination attempts on his life that whatever Bongino and Kash, as much as I like those guys too, whatever they say, I'm still not as sold on the whole weird kid from Butler somehow outsmarted the Secret Service and the local police and had a 1 in a million chance. Not quite buying that still. But keeping that in mind, I want to show you something else. Another post of Elon Musk's 22 minutes previous to that one. Let's see. Hold on. It's down here somewhere. At least it used to be. Let's see. There used to be one down here. Is it still down here? Let's see. Nope. All right. I know it's in here. Everybody just wait. I'm going to find it. Sometimes, oh, God damn it. Sometimes these bookmarks, X, it's one thing. My only criticism of X is that it will rearrange the stuff I've got bookmarked. And then it makes it hard for me to find it. All right. It's coming. Which is the one that I want? Hold on. Now, by the time I find this, there we go. There's the original one. Okay. Give me another second here, everybody. Okay. Where's the original one? Just talk amongst yourselves. You guys are used to this. Okay. It's important that I find the exact right one and that it be in the right place. Okay. It's coming. It's coming. It's going to be, we're almost, God damn it. See what happened there? It just jumped. It just jumped. And now, and it's moved me back in a year's worth of tweets. Did you guys see that? It's doing that to me on purpose. All right. God damn it. Okay, so my point was that, see if we can find this. God damn it. If we can't find it, I will just tell you. Oh. All right, God damn it. Unless actually it is underneath here. Let's see. No, it's not in there. All right. You know what? I just have to, okay, I'm just going to have to tell you because X has screwed up the chronology of my tweets here. All right. So we have the tweet where Elon Musk says, hold on, find that again. This is terrible. Man, I'm awful. I'm the worst. Okay, so we've got the Elon Musk post with the bomb about Epstein and Donald Trump's in the Epstein files. And 22 minutes before that, 22 minutes before that, he retweeted Trump talking about how Elon Musk had basically gone crazy, and he was mad because he'd canceled the EV subsidies, and Elon Musk just went crazy. And that Elon Musk knew everything about the bill, the big beautiful bill, and seemed fine with it and everything. And Elon Musk retweeted that, commenting that these are all ridiculous lies. It's all lies, right? And then 22 minutes later, you see the Epstein one. And what I think was happening there is that in Elon's mind, and you have to remember, he's got the Asperger's, not Asperger's. Asperger's. He's got a little bit of that. And I think his mind works a little bit differently. So I think what he thought he was doing that was obvious was that he's saying, okay, here's Trump is telling lies about me. He's saying things about me that aren't true. Here's something about Trump that's obviously not true, but I'll play the same game. I'll play the same game as you. How about this? I think that's what was going on there. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just crazy, but that's the only thing that makes sense because Elon Musk knows Trump's. Yeah, there's, how many people are mentioned in those files, right? Like how many people flew on those planes? Like most of what he was doing, most of what Epstein was doing was not orgies and really evil stuff. He was making connections. Obviously, it seems like there's some sort of intelligence connection there, or some sort of intelligence asset. His job was to get close to everybody. I mean, he had Stephen Hawking, for God's sakes. Stephen Hawking wasn't in any orgies. I'm pretty much, an orgy would kill him, right? So yeah, I'd be surprised if Donald Trump wasn't mentioned in there somewhere. I mean, literally, it's like every person of note over about 2 decades is in there. And Elon Musk knows that. I think that's what was going through his head at the time. It's like, Trump's saying these lies about me, these ridiculous lies. How do you like it? Here's something ridiculous. I think that's what was going on in his head. I can't read minds, but that would make sense with Elon Musk's character a little bit, I think. All right. All right, let's see what you guys are saying. I bet you guys have got a lot to say on this. A lot. Let's see. Oh, yeah, there's a lot of chat going on here. All right. Go back. All right, here we go. We got to the coffee read. Let's see. Radio Streamer says 10 out of 10 levels of commie hate. Finally got my... Okay, yeah, so we've already read that. Very nice. Rant juice, good energy. Rosie says, yep. We need... Oh, in fact, I should have some more, actually. I feel like Good Morning Vietnam right now. Remember that movie with Robin Williams? I feel like I'm in Nam. I'm sweating just doing the show. All right. Radio Streamer says he's tempted to start a Save the Teapot Fund with no explanation whatsoever what it's for. We've got a moratorium on it for 3 days, 3 streams. Let's see. Izzy says that Asperger sounds like something you get from eating at McDonald's. Oh, good Lord. I'm not even going to say that out loud. It's too horrible. Let's see. Jay Hamill says we need AI to put Elon's face on Greta's head during her "How dare you" speech. How dare you? Well, she's floating around in the Mediterranean right now, claiming there's a drone following her. Let's see. Hope it's a green drone. All right. You know what? I think we should just continue here. Otherwise, because there's like so much chat. I don't think we can get to it all. Let's see. Rosie says that we should start a board and take bets on how long it will take him to find things. I'm generally pretty good. It's just the occasional thing where X will just mess with me. You guys saw it like switch there, right? You guys saw that when I was looking for it. It was messing with me. God damn it. Let's see. Denny Ringus, how you doing? Welcome to the chat. Did the Liberals support a Nazi in Parliament giving him a standing ovation despite the Soviets being our ally in World War II? I guess they did. If everybody did, I think that it's one of those things where nobody really pays attention to the special guests, right? They're busy with their own stuff. But it was the Liberals that invited him. I believe it was the Prime Minister's office itself that invited the Ukrainian Nazi. And it was a big embarrassment. There was a point. In fact, I want to show it to you. Hold on a second. I want to find the the part where the Speaker of the House realizes, I think we did an Hold on one sec. This won't take me long. We'll get to it in a minute. All right. I don't know why I don't just search it up just on X, like just in the search bar. Because that's always way faster. It's great. That's amazing thing about hold on. There we go. All right, give me a second here. All right. So let's see if we can get some better video than this. But it's hilarious, his face, when he realizes that he's doing an He's doing an Is there some better that got it in here?
Amongst the
Okay. If we have to, we'll go back to that first one. There should be more in here though. Hold on. 17. Okay. Oh, here we go. This is it. All right. Remember when the Canadian Parliament and Zelensky hosted and cheered a Waffen SS Nazi? And then the Speaker of the House was forced to grovel, apologize, and resign. Turns out it was Justin Trudeau who invited the Nazi. Yeah, so another person that he threw under the bus, even though it was the Prime Minister's office that invited the guy. Now, you can see the moment on his face when he realizes,
We have here in the chamber today Ukrainian Canadian world veteran from the Second World War who fought the Ukrainian independence against the Russians and continues to support.
Did you catch that? If he was fighting the Russians, who is he fighting for? Let's see. He was on the Eastern Front and he was fighting against the Russians. Let's see. But back then, the Russians were good because they were on our side. But right now, the Russians are bad. But maybe somebody should have thought about this. Maybe somebody should have. Maybe somebody in the Prime Minister's office should know something of history. Let's take a look again.
Ukrainian Canadian world veteran from the Second World War who fought the Ukrainian independence against the Russians and continues.
It just clicked. Oh, shit. He was a Nazi. Oh, good Lord. Good Lord. Canadian politics. Just beyond retarded. Just beyond retarded. What are you guys saying? Let's get this this really mesmerizing noodle cooking video back on for a second. Just the look on his face when it clicks, he goes, oh, shit. This guy was a Nazi. Let's see. All right. Rosie says, nope, never saw the scroll, jump, or skip. You told us talk amongst ourselves. Then you started interrupting us again. Yeah, I guess that's shot myself in the foot there. Damn it. You guys missed the skip. I'm not lying. That really happened. All right. What is going on here? All right. Was there one other thing here I wanted to show you? See, this is what I mean. So why did it just mix in a tweet from 2024 with my recent stuff? Like, it's supposed to just be stored in chronological order, and then it will just mess it up for some reason. All right, maybe we should leave that. Okay, let's just leave that whole thing. I think we've covered that enough, haven't we? All right, let's move on. This stuff drives me nuts. I tell you what, it drives me crazy. I can't believe we live in a world where this has been normalized, where we were asleep for so long that actual, as far as I'm concerned, psychopathic lunatics managed to take over the institutions. Johns Hopkins professor condemns medical malpractice that led to granddaughter's transition. He says gender ideology is like a cult or a religion. So it is hard to believe this was allowed to happen, that the institutions, and I'm talking about like American Medical Association and the Endocrine Society, that actual lunatics were able to take over these institutions and start behaving like Mengele. Dr. Henry Moseley of Johns Hopkins University condemned the gender ideology movement, citing the lived experience, they used some woke words there, lived experience of his granddaughter who fell victim to what he describes as medical malpractice. I would just call it barbarism. Moseley, a physician epidemiologist and professor emeritus at Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health, first realized the dangers of gender ideology when his 16-year-old granddaughter, Prisha, told him she was transgender. As Moseley's career largely focused on family planning and preventing abortions, controversy was nothing new to him, but he was not keen on accepting his granddaughter's transgender diagnosis. So he first realized the dangers of gender ideology when this affected his granddaughter, right? When they brainwashed his granddaughter. But he's in that world, that same world, right? He must have been aware of this beforehand. I called her counselor, who just completely put me off. She said I didn't know what I was talking about, Moseley stated to IW Features. My son, Jonathan Moseley, who's a physician, also spoke with her, but there was nothing we could do to persuade her that Prisha was mentally ill. And I've said it 1,000 times on this channel, and I'll say it 1,000 times more. The woke ideologues, the radical progressives, are not trying to fit their ideology into the world. They are trying to fit the world into their ideology. And they are happy, they are thrilled to break the world and to break people in the process. They don't care what's actually good. They don't care. They're not compassionate. This isn't about empathy. This isn't about compassion, right? They hurt too many people for that if they actually cared about that. This is about just trying to force this ideology on the world, trying to force the world to fit into their ideology. And again, they are happy. They are recklessly, blithely thrilled to break the world and everybody in it to that end. We're talking about sex changes for children here, all right? And they viciously fight and attack anybody who questions this with even just the most reasonable concerns, right? So when I say they're happy to wreck the world for their ideology, for all of the different facets of their ideology, whether it's in medicine or economics or whatever, they're happy to break the world and everybody in it. Again, they're talking about medical experiments on children, medical experiments on children. This is Mengele stuff. According to Moseley, Prisha's counselor was adamant that her distress stemmed from her family not affirming her trans identity. And despite this, Moseley observed that Prisha was self-harming, attempting suicide, and having all kinds of serious mental health problems. The American Medical Association guidelines require mental health screening and psychotherapy for gender-confused patients, the lack of which ultimately led to Prisha's decline. Yet they don't get any of that, right? If they go into a doctor and they say, yeah, I think I'm in the wrong body, you see endless stories of detransitioners saying they went in, they were at a 45-minute meeting, and they were prescribed cross-sex hormones. That's how insane it is. Gender ideology is like a cult or a religion, and you can't persuade people who have certain religious beliefs that they are contrary to science, Mosley says. It's a cult. Like many trans-identifying individuals, Prisha broke away from her family and integrated into a transgender community in Florida. This is the cult part of it, right? Get away from your family, get away from friends, family, people who love you, right? Get them away from the people who could make a difference. During this time, Mosley kept in communication with her and said he would support her in any way that he could. Quote, when she broke up with her partner and decided to leave Florida, we helped her. She had found a job in Michigan, and we rented her a truck and helped her make the move. While living in Michigan, Prisha chose to detransition. And since then, she's become an advocate, bringing awareness to the dangers of gender ideology. Why don't you ever see this? Why haven't you seen her on CNN, MSNBC, any of them, Chloe Cole, any of these detransitioners? They have fascinating stories, harrowing stories. I mean, the kind of stories that, cynical news organizations that are struggling to find viewers, you'd think they'd want, even for just the cynical reason that it will create interest. But you don't see them on NBC News, ABC News. I'll tell you what, you'll never see them on CBC or Global. You'll never see them on the BBC in the UK. Zero interest whatsoever. Of course, these are incredibly important stories right now, but you won't see them. You'll see them in, this is the Daily Wire. You'll see people like me talking about them on independent channels. I'm grateful that people in my family are listening to me and care about the damage that happened, Prisha told IW Features. People trust doctors, but recently, doctors working with patients who claim to be trans have been dishonest and harmful. They tell the parents that if they don't do it, that their child will kill them. So they'll say something like, would you rather have a live son or a dead daughter? I mean, which is incredibly cruel and evil, and it's also a total lie. I mean, let's see. What might be possibly the worst cure for childhood confusion, depression, anxiety? Do you think that maybe, I don't know, permanently medicalizing them, causing them to, preventing them from growing into a healthy adult body with healthy reproductive organs, considering that once you become an adult, your sex life is fairly important. It's just lunacy. Obviously, that's the most reckless and insane thing you can do. If you want to, how could you come up with a better way of actually causing suicidal ideation than that? It's all so backwards. Mosley followed in his granddaughter's footsteps by becoming an advocate for children vulnerable to this ideology, testifying at the Maryland State House and urging lawmakers to ban gender-affirming care, which is a euphemism. It's like everything with the left. They use words to manipulate, not to convey real meaning. It's the opposite of what it actually is. Gender-affirming care. The real gender-affirming care is obviously helping people, particularly young people, to accept their bodies, the only body they're ever going to have, instead of trying to give them drugs and cut their body into some sort of approximation of something they can never be. He also published an op-ed in the Baltimore Sun where he says gender ideology should be kept out of schools. Obviously, what could be more? Just lies should be kept out of schools. That should just be a hard, fast rule. Just lies. If it's lies, it should not be in the schools. I think that gender ideology, right, this redefinition of the word gender, which was always just synonymous with sex, until it was redefined into this ludicrous series of infinite abstractions, totally unmoored from reality. How about that? Just don't teach things that are batshit crazy to kids in schools. How about that? I mean, that's such a low bar, right? Unfortunately, Mosley said he is not being able to have an impact on Johns Hopkins, where he says his medical records at the university have been changed from saying sex to sex assigned at birth. It's just, it would be funny if it weren't so tragic, if the results of this, if this didn't lead to so much damage. Sex assigned at birth. I mean, Johns Hopkins. This is why the word expert doesn't carry the weight that it used to. I emailed the CEO of the medical school with a little information about biology, and he never responded. Of course, the CEO of the medical school. So the CEO of the medical school is either a lunatic ideologue or a total coward. One of those two, but only one of those two. Mosley refers to what happened to his granddaughter and others as medical malpractice in the gender medicine field, and he said he will continue to be outspoken about it. So, just another story. We've been covering a lot of this lately, and I just think it's important because it's so disturbing you don't even really want to think about it, but it's important that people know, like, there's a lot of people who don't really know what is happening. Right? They just hear, they watch the news, and the news treats that if it's all just totally normal and this is all accepted practice. And in some sense, it is, but it's false. It's clearly wrong. There's no evidence for any of this. It's a total breakdown of professional ethics and actually just, research and science. All right. The only thing that can make me feel better after that is a noodle show. Radio Streamer says, I know that these affronts against humanity under the guise of medical care will go down in history as one of the single most horrid sins of modern Western communism. People will read in amazement. Yeah, this will be like lobotomies, thalidomide. People will read in horror, like at the barbarism, right? Like if you read about, throwing, in like the Aztec Empire, throwing, children into cenotes to drown to please the rain god. It will be seen like that. It will be seen like at this time, there was a part of the culture that was sacrificing their children to the gender gods. G-Flood says, same doctors told people everywhere to take the experimental clot shot. Yes, they did. And if they didn't, they got in big trouble. JDL says, lawsuits ahead, period. That's what will stop it. I mean, you often see, and I've seen people like Jordan Peterson say, these people deserve to be in prison. None of them will go to prison. There are too many people complicit. The media is complicit. The medical associations themselves are complicit. Right? Too many politicians are complicit. School counselors, school boards are complicit. What'll stop it is lawsuits, a tsunami of lawsuits. When it stops being profitable, it'll stop. Jay Hamill says, Chloe Cole tried to inform others about her devastating complications, and the left sent out goons to scream and censor her public appearances. Along for the days when we dealt with rudeness. It's unbelievable. Yeah, they do. I've made videos about that in the past with Chloe Cole. And yeah, it's unbelievable. I mean, you have to understand about these people. They don't care. Right? They're not trying to fit their view into the world. They're trying to fit the world into their view. They're happy to break everybody in the process. They don't care if it's good or bad. It's just their cause. That's it. It's just the perpetual revolution. That's all it is. right? And what is revolution? It's just undermining and destroying everything before to build whatever it is. The communist dystopia on top of it. 1984. Let's see. Izzy says experts are closed-minded. Rosie says, glad you were shouting out the info. What else can we do about it? I've been ineffective on the personal front. I think that the way this stuff gets power is just by regular people just going with it. Just saying, oh, well, the experts say, yeah, that's all right. And even though everybody knows there's something wrong, that's not right. That's not right. People, well, I guess this is the way it's going now. This is the acceptable. This is the Overton window now. And I just think there's a lot of people out there just waiting for one person to say, no, I don't think this is right. And they'll go, yeah, I don't either. I mean, I'm thinking about it. It just doesn't. What about this and this? I think there's a lot of people. And I think that is powerful because it can spread the same way that the acceptance of it spread, right? The questioning can spread too. And this is a righteous thing too. And it's also it's so obvious, right? I really think it does come down to just regular people when they hear something like this, just saying, no, that doesn't seem right to me. And then just slowly you start to have support for politicians that are also feel the same way about it because they do exist. And I think it has to be like a social movement because these things become top-down social movements where just everybody thinks everybody else agrees because TV says, right? So it needs a grassroots movement coming up, where that's an antidote to that top-down kind of false, what's the word? That kind of false assent from the public. It's not real. And I think that's how it ultimately does change, right? Just people that's how there was so much pressure put on for the border in the United States, right? All right. Jay Hamill says, the one thing that will save us is for RB to show the video of the boob goddess leaning over a fence. Well, we're an hour and a half in. I guess I could find that. Hold on a sec. Talking about Fence Lady. And we do like Fence Lady. We do. We're all fans of Fence Lady here. How do I find... hold on. 1 minute. Shouldn't take me long. I believe it's in the no cooking. It's in the no cooking. There it is. Where is that wonderful Fence Lady? She just loves fences. That's the thing. It's so wholesome the way that she just loves that fence. Izzy says, sadly, I get what you would do if your kids came out as trans question. Sadly, nothing I can do. It's illegal not to affirm their beliefs in Canada. I know somebody a friend of mine was telling me they knew somebody, and the second it started, they went and talked to the school, and they said, oh, yeah, we're totally on board with this and everything. And they immediately made plans to move, and they just moved without telling anybody. And they took away all the devices, and immediately the whole thing reversed, and the kid's fine. So I know I'm the best. Jay Hamill. All right. Streamer says, man, those are some nice planks. I see why she likes the cut of that wood. I know. She loves that fence. I bet you there's like hundreds of videos with her. That fence. Maybe she even made the fence. Do you think? Entirely possible. I mean, she's very proud of the fence. I mean, look at it. Fantastic. That woman likes the fence. Candle Monkey, how you doing? Is Richie crushing it again? Of course he is. All right, what's going on now? Let's see. You know what? I'd like to do another ad, but we need a few more people. Then I can do another ad. All right. Shall we move on? Let's take a look at this Kash Patel with the Epstein stuff. Vigilant Fox. FBI Director Kash Patel says there's no Epstein Island video showing elites committing crimes, and if there were, you'd see it. So there's been a lot of disappointment from different people in the administration. Kash Patel, Dan Bongino, Pam Bondi. Let's hear what he has to say here. Because people were expecting more. Is it a case of there really wasn't anything? Or there is something, but it's so bad, it would be so destabilizing that it would be irresponsible to put it out, perhaps. I don't know. Let's take a look.
Again, we're going to give you everything we can. And people have to remember, we're not going to re-victimize women. We're not going to put that shit back out there. It's not happening because then he wins. Not doing it. You want to hate me for it? Fine.
That sounds like kind of an excuse, I got to say.
Again, logical play out. If there was a video of some guy or gal committing felonies on an island and I'm in charge, don't you think you'd see it?
If you have access to it.
If I have it, period.
Right.
If I have it.
So
where else would it be?
Right. If you have it.
Right.
But you can't say that you have it.
No, we're giving you everything we have.
So far.
Everything we have so far is.
Have you guys gone over all the video that's available?
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. That's what takes so much damn time.
Right.
And
is there video from the island?
Not of what you want. The people out there have filled the void with can't wait to see X, Y, or Z.
Right, speculation.
And I'm like, here's the other thing I've been asking for, right? Openly. If you have information on this, call us. Tell us. The best resource we have is the American people in the world.
So I want to believe him. All right? I don't get the sense that he's untrustworthy. I mean, let me see what you guys are saying here. Let me see what you guys think. Radio Streamer says, I think it's more like we expected it all to be exposed, but it was unrealistic to expect they would just leave the bodies laying in the room for evidence, that they had plenty of time to get rid of them. Yeah. I mean, obviously, they've only been in power for, he's not been in his job even since the inauguration, right? Because it took a little while to get him in. So, but in any case, I mean, it was in the hands of, I think, probably the most dishonest, corrupt administration in American history for 4 years. And would they destroy evidence? I think that's just a given at this point, isn't it? Jay Hamill says, I watched the entire Patel Rogan video. Excellent. A must-see. He uncovered a secret room that Comey hid from Congress. The room was loaded with docs and records that Patel's team is reviewing. G. Flood says, quotes Pam Bondi here, thousands of videos. I don't know. But I think that we have something about what Jay Hamill was talking about there, because we've got some more videos of Kash Patel with Rogan. Let's see. All right, hold on. I think it's actually in this one here. So we'll just be scrolling for about 5 minutes now. If you guys have anything you need to do, if you have to study for a master's degree, or finish the Saturday New York Times crossword, or you got a particularly difficult Sudoku, say, or read War and Peace. We'll be right back to it. We should be back in just a matter of hours. Hold on. I know I've got it in here. Here we go. Let's take a look at this. Oh, that's him talking about his house getting swatted. Okay. And I believe, okay. Okay, so this isn't on that same stuff. Okay, maybe it's in this one. Okay. Alex Jones. Kash Patel reveals he recently found new camera footage showing no one entered Epstein's cell after the media and the Attorney General Bill Barr said that the cell cameras malfunctioned and there was no video. So let's take a look at this. Okay, so this is more of what we were looking for.
When did you become aware of this video that showed that no one had gone in and out of the cell?
Recently.
So why was it recent, though? I mean, if this death was, how long ago was this death? 2 years?
Couple.
2019?
2019.
Oh, really? Why? Time flies. So 6 years.
Well, again, that's part of what I'm going to try to answer for you.
Jeffrey Epstein jail CCTV erased by technical errors. Whoopsies.
Yeah.
But you see how anybody on the outside, I mean, this is like a perfect storm for something. Can you pull that article up so we can read what it says, Jamie? U.S. prosecutor said the jail mistakenly saved footage from the wrong cell. Sorry. Epstein, a convicted sex offender, first tried to kill himself in July last year and hanged himself in jail.
Hang on.
Yep.
Reread that line.
That he first tried to kill himself in July of last year. Yeah.
How much of the American public do you think knows that?
I didn't know that until right now.
There you go.
Maybe I heard it and forgot. Did you ever hear it, Jamie?
Well, that's why he was on suicide watch, I think.
Oh, okay.
So a guy
hanged himself in jail in August while serving trial on February.
I think I do recall hearing something about that. I knew that he was on suicide watch. I'm trying to think back, though, if I actually heard anybody say that specifically that he had already tried to kill himself. Or maybe it was after, and it seems like something that, you know, if there was a cover-up, you might say, but anyway, let's continue.
Federal sex trafficking charge. He pleaded not guilty to abusing dozens of girls, some as young as 14. Yeah. Soon after Epstein's death in August, two of the CCTV cameras outside his cell had malfunctioned and were being examined by the FBI. Found semi-conscious in his prison cell with injuries on his neck on 25 of July. After this incident, he's placed on suicide watch.
I'm not saying every single camera in the place was working. I'm saying we've got footage and you're getting it. Mm-hmm. And then you can make up your own mind. And the theories can continue. But my job is to give you
became aware of this footage recently.
So he says they're releasing that footage. So I guess we'll see it hopefully at some point.
The ones that we're looking at, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, but this is like an article from quite a while ago that was saying that the footage was mistakenly erased.
Look, I mean, it goes back to the same, ask the people that were in power then. I mean, I get it that you want to hold me to account for their actions, and
no, I'm not saying,
you, not you.
I'm not saying that.
Not you. Just the public in general, and that's okay.
What's confusing to everybody today? First of all, it's very confusing because AI can kind of make anything. You know, which has got to be a bizarre position for you to be in when you're looking at videos. I mean, I've watched Viking videos; it looked real as fuck. You know, they just make Viking towns. I mean, it's really quite incredible what they're doing now.
That's like such an interesting point, isn't it? AI, like that is really going to change everything. I mean, right now they could make a AI video, especially if it's supposed to be kind of low resolution. They could easily make one that is just totally indistinguishable from reality. They could make that whatever footage that Kash Patel wants to show, you could do that. There's no problem, right? Like they can put people's faces on things and you can't tell the difference anymore. And it's only going to become even better over time, where it's just like anybody can do it. I think actually anybody could do it right now. But anyway, let's continue.
Now, and it accelerates every month. I mean, I talked to Elon about it, and he said we're blown away literally every week. Every week there's some new breakthrough that we're like, wow, We didn't expect that.
Well, I can tell you after having looked at it, this ain't going to be AI.
You don't think so?
It's just not great. It's like if it were AI, like someone wanted to come in and make it, they'd make it better.
But why would you make it better when people could, you could have ambiguous footage that is, totally generated by AI. I mean, AI can generate blurry images. AI can generate night vision. AI can generate essentially anything that's already existed, like really shitty 1984 VHS tapes. They can do that.
They can. But I'm telling you, I'm giving you the tape from the tape. There's just like I'm giving you the documents from the vault, just like I'm giving you information to Congress on COVID origins or what have you. What we find is what you're getting.
Okay, so now it's saying 2019, missing jail video from the first Jeffrey Epstein suicide. So for the first attempt has been found. So maybe, let's put it into perspective, jails are not the most efficient, best run places. Yeah. It's not like
Fort Knox.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
So, I want to believe him. I do wonder, again, if there is something, and again, this is total speculation. Sometimes things just are what they are, and unlikely things do happen. And there are coincidences. I know somebody said there's no coincidences, but I can't remember who it was. Andrew Breitbart or something. But there are, like, sometimes just things that just work out in weird ways. But maybe, again, speculating, maybe there is something that is so bad, so destabilizing, that it just would be too dangerous to actually put it out. Maybe the names in it would just be so destabilizing. I'm not saying that people wouldn't have a right to know. I think they would. And I think if they do have that, it should be released. But could that be a possible motivation? I don't know. But I'm not 100% sold is the thing. Here's Roger Stone. Let's hear his take on this. And I think it was about
with CIA enchilada here. Why don't we just go ahead and give people the big enchilada here?
Well, look, I think it is important to note that after Epstein got a slap on the wrist by state prosecutors, that the sheriff in Palm Beach County was outraged. County prosecutor had given him a charge of 1 count of solicitation when he could have been charged with child sex trafficking in 33 children and statutory rape. He went to the U.S. attorney, Alex Acosta, in Miami. Acosta conducted his own investigation, but then he rubber stamped the slap on the wrist and he sealed the case. Later, Alex, when Acosta was appointed Secretary of Labor in preparation for his confirmation hearings, in front of a lawyer that I know who was helping him, he was asked, "What are you going to say if some senator asked you why you gave Epstein a pass?" And Acosta said, "I'm going to tell the truth, that he worked for the CIA and that the agency told me to rubber stamp this and make sure it did not see the light of day." There it is.
So that's what he says. So it does still feel like there's something more, doesn't it? Let's see. I mean, here's Kash Patel, February 27th. The FBI is entering a new era, one that will be defined by integrity, accountability, and the unwavering pursuit of justice. So are we seeing kind of not even power corrupting? I wouldn't say that, but just the weight of the responsibility corrupting someone. I don't know. I mean, this is all speculation. Sometimes things just are what they are. Sometimes just a cigar is just a cigar, right? All right. So that's it. Let's see. Shall we do some Canadian stuff? Or will I just lose everybody? Let's get back to the chat. I want to see what you guys have to say about it. I know you guys are going to have a lot to say about this. Let's see. Izzy says, I would be surprised if the evidence still exists. Yeah. Yeah, let's not forget whose hands it was in, right? I mean, I think we can all agree here the Biden administration was by far the most corrupt administration in American history. At least in the, within living memory. Far more corrupt than Nixon. Far more corrupt. Let's see. As he says, it's likely in the hands of people that'll use it as blackmail. Well, if it's, you hear about Mossad, you hear about the CIA. And, the CIA can just put the kibosh on things, right? But I don't know. I don't know, people. Jay Hamill, regarding Epstein killing himself, here is my pushback against my own team, the right and libertarians. Sometimes conspiracy theories are true, but we must be the disciplined ones. It is not unreasonable to think someone killed Epstein, but it's equally reasonable to assume a billionaire in prison for life ended himself. Yeah, that's a great point. That's a good point. I would never say that somebody who believes that Epstein was killed was wrong, because the whole thing just stinks to high heaven. But Jay Hamill's right too. I mean, it may, sometimes it is just what it is. A billionaire or 100 millionaire, whatever he was, imprisoned for life, ending himself. Yeah, I can see that. As he says, wasn't it suspected his cellmate was the one that tried to kill him? Well, he was assaulted by his cellmate earlier, I believe, at some point earlier. And then there was rumor that guy had been let back in while the cameras were off to do it. But we're hearing that there's no evidence from Kash Patel. There's no evidence. He's saying he's going to release video showing that, yeah, he just did kill himself. So I don't know. Hold on a second. What the heck is going on here? What is this? I think this is going to be good. Oh, it's not letting me do it. Damn it. It's going to give you guys a beautiful, beautiful ad read, but it's not letting me do it. Hold on. Let me try this. Well, let me go. No, it's not letting me do it. All right, fine. I don't care. Whatever. I didn't even want to do an ad read, Rumble. I didn't even want to do one, so I don't even care. Let's see. As he says, any footage that comes out now isn't going to be believed. Well, it's this AI thing. It really throws a wrench in it, doesn't it? And all of this stuff. As he says, I don't believe all the failures that needed to happen for him to have it done. I know it stinks to high heaven. It may be one thing. It may be something we just never find out the actual real truth, or maybe it's revealed in 50 years or something. G-Flet says he's telling us if it was AI, they couldn't try to make it realistic. I thought it was a bit of a weird answer. I don't think he really had thought about that. Izzy says it was clearly a cover-up. G-Flood, if he had a dozen prison uniforms and blankets in his cell. G-Flood says you lose your shoes in jail, you're barefoot for a week. You do not get extra anything. Izzy says it's not plausible. JDL says, I call disbelief. Jay Hamill says, in the Rogan video, Patel said he is going to release a previously failed suicide attempt by Epstein. So, yeah, I can't really argue with anybody. I mean, it does stink to high heaven. Would I be even remotely surprised? I would be more surprised if there was absolute rock solid evidence that he did it himself. I'd be more surprised of that than if there was rock solid evidence, undeniable evidence that he'd actually been killed at this point, right? But I don't know. JDL says, I like Canada stuff, eh? Everybody subscribe to the channel right now. Also, liking the stream is a big deal. You get something out of it. You get free good karma. That's right. Every time you like the channel on every stream, you get good karma. In these troubled times, my friends, Can you afford to turn your back on that? Why would you even want to? It's right there. Take it. Take it. Nobody can stop you. Also, subscribing is a really big deal, and people do that all the time and stuff. I don't know if you knew that, but people are always constantly subscribing to the channel and stuff, so you should totally do that. All right. Shall we move on? So let's do a little bit here on Mark Carney. From Mark Nixon, Mark Carney responded to the latest data, which indicates $15 billion in trade decline. He says his plan is working. This is only one data set. Don't look too deep into it. Yeah, just like we weren't supposed to look too deep into that sparkling resume of his, that wonderful resume of his. Oh, wow, Bank of Canada, Bank of England, but don't actually talk to anybody from the UK about his time in Bank of England. Now, don't worry about that. No, he was great. He was great. Just look at the resume. Don't look behind it. Just look at the resume. Can't believe this man fooled enough people. Well, I think there was enough people who wanted to be fooled by him to be elected. I think, sadly, Canada's a cautionary story for the world. Don't be Canada. Let's hear our globalist technocrat goblin prime minister. Let's take a look.
On the trade data, $15 billion of exports just went out the window kind of thing. Chamber's quite worried.
Look, the global economy is slowing. We all know that. And that has implications for Canada. We're trading.
Yeah, but this has been happening for years now under the Liberal government. For years now. Capital's been fleeing Canada. Investment has been fleeing Canada. The economy has been declining. Everything has been declining for years now, Mark Carney. By the way, it's not the Trump tariffs either. This has been happening for years. Let's hear him, though.
The core strategy of this government is to diversify our economy, build our economy at home. You don't want to make too much of one piece of data, but there's lots of indicators underneath that the strategy that we're pursuing to build the Canadian economy, to be masters in our own home, to have one Canadian economy out of 13, to diversify our trading partners. That's the right strategy for Canada. Thanks very much.
Don't even have a budget. Don't even have a budget. $500 billion in spending. Nobody really knows where it's all going or how much money has to be borrowed or what the deficit's really going to be. But don't worry. He's going to build the economy. He just told us that. He just told us, he's going to, don't worry, people. He's going to build the economy. No worries. He just assured us of this. The genius economist. Don't worry. Don't worry. The button down, moderate genius economist who was going to, roll up his sleeves and get to work, except he's not really doing that. First thing he did, after winning the election was go off, go to Europe. Let's see, you got like 3 weeks of parliament until 2.5 months off, summer break. Let's see, no budget. So it seems like that's kind of a basic thing, right? Like even if you only have a little bit of time, you can put something together. If you're as competent as we were told Mark Carney is, right? That's what he was elected on, apparently, right? That his competence. He's an economist. Doesn't seem very responsible at this point to me. Seems like he's just intent to do stuff and then spew out word salads. But he's going to spend a lot of money. He's going to spend more money. We know that. We know that he's going to spend more money and therefore have to borrow more money than even Justin Trudeau. Amazingly, we know what he's going to spend it on. It's going to be subsidies for green boondoggles. We know that didn't go well under Trudeau. It's going to be the same as Trudeau, only more. But don't worry, people. Don't worry. Even though there's no transparency, no accountability from the Oxford economist, don't worry. He just said he's going to build the economy. So that's good enough, right? That's good enough. I'm sure that's good enough for Rosemary Barton's teleprompter on the CBC. That's what it's paid for. I think the teleprompter gets paid first and then Rosemary Barton. The teleprompter probably gets paid more than Rosemary Barton because it's more important. So as you can tell, I'm a little frustrated with the state of Canada right now. Oh, let's not forget, by the way, the over 800,000 people he's let into the country in the first 4 months of the year. That he let in the first 4 months of the year. So what's that? We were getting about 1.2 million with Trudeau. So we're on par now for what, about 2.4 million? The most important issue in the election should have been immigration. It was before before TV said, put your elbows up and do your chicken dance in front of the CBC in your living room. I mean, it's madness. It is actual madness when you consider Canada has added approximately 110 people via immigration since January 2025. Okay, but that's permanent residents. There's another 700,000 students and what they're calling temporary foreign workers. Turns out they're not so temporary because none of them end up going home. The students either, and half of them are gangsters. So it's a scam in the first place. But while this is happening, Canada's lost 20,000 jobs. So hundreds of thousands of temporary foreign workers, but we're losing jobs. Unemployment rate up to 7% now as a result. So that's Canada. Maybe we should have zero temporary foreign workers. Maybe we should have zero immigration. Wouldn't that make sense? Wouldn't that make sense when the economy is going off a cliff, when it's imploding? And when it's sure to do much worse under Carney's insane policies of making them pay. And by them, he means the polluters. Make the polluters pay, he says. And by polluters, he means business and industry in Canada. I wonder if they're going to look south and see Trump holding out his arms, waiting to lovingly embrace them when they bring their business, when they take their businesses to the United States. I wonder if that'll happen. I mean, Mark Carney is promising to make them pay, though, right? Make them pay. Great. That's creating a great business environment in Canada. Nice work, globalist technocrat. Global news. Unemployment ticks up slightly in May to 7%, with virtually no job growth since January. Rupa Subramania here says, who's a Canadian-Indian journalist, I have a great idea. Let's let more people in from the third world shitholes. Let's let more people in from third world shitholes. And she is not being serious. She is being facetious. She's joking. And it's a joke that every single person in Canada should get. How about this? A luxury item. Canadians may need to budget for barbecue season as meat prices soar. Luxury items. Canadians may need to budget for barbecue season. So this will go very well with Mark Carney and his net zero. We know that the World Economic Forum, which Mark Carney has been deeply involved with, doesn't want you to eat meat, right? They want you to eat bugs. So I don't know. I mean, how are barbecued crickets? Are they great? I don't really want them. But you're supposed to eat less meat anyway. I wonder if this is all just, I'm sure Mark Carney sees this and he's thrilled. Hey, making progress with net zero. People can't afford to eat fucking meat anymore in the summer. Nice work, Canada. Nice work. Cautionary tale. Cautionary tale. Don't be Canada. Anybody listening from anywhere else in the world, don't be Canada. Mark Nixon. Canada brought in nearly 500,000 temporary workers in the first 4 months of 2025. Meanwhile, 1.55 million Canadians are unemployed, and 60% of them haven't found work in over a year. WTF, what does that stand for? WTF, is this government thinking? I think it means, what the fuck is this government thinking? Import labor while Canadians sit jobless. This is sabotage. No jobs. Why would you do this? Would somebody who cared about the well-being of Canadians do this? Would somebody who's totally indifferent to the needs, to the well-being, to the suffering of Canadians do this? Somebody who had other loyalties not to the people of Canada, but to, I don't know, some other, entity, I guess you could say, some sort of, maybe an ideology, maybe some sort of globalist ideology, perhaps. This is all total and complete madness. I've shown you these immigration charts before. I mean, what more can I say? I'm not sure if I can do a finer rant than that one anyway. Maybe we'll leave it right there. You want some more crazy Canada stuff? Some more Don't Be Canada news? How about this? Andrew Lawton. So he's a new MP. He was like a social media news guy. I think he might have had a radio show as well in Alberta. Very good. He's got that experience being able to kind of craft a speech. He's quite effective. He's conservative. He's making the Minister of Safety and Security look like the fool that he is. This is from Ryan Gerritsen. Let's see what's happening. I believe he's talking about handguns here. Now, in Canada, the Liberal government is very determined to get rid of every firearm in the country, but they only seem to be really concerned about, like, farmer shotguns for some reason. That's what they're obsessing about. They're not good at getting illegal guns that have been, handguns, for instance, that have been smuggled into the country. They're not interested in the guns that the illegals have, it doesn't seem. Because, I mean, that's hard. It's way easier. You've got a registry. You know everybody that has a gun. You can just say, hey, we'll take those ones. We already know where they are. And the people that have them have had to, they've had to pass background checks. We know that they're safe. We know that they're law-abiding. That's why they still have their firearm. So it'll be easy to take it from them. And then we can tell morons in Canada, we can tell liberal voting morons that we're doing something about gun violence, even if they're doing nothing and they're just simply taking guns away from farmers and people in rural communities who aren't committing crimes. But you have to understand, there are liberal voters that are morons that will just hear they're getting rid of firearms, and that must be good somehow, even if it solves nothing. So let's take a look.
Vice Chair, does the minister know what an RPAL is?
Now, Minister.
I do not.
Member.
Does the minister know what the CFSC is?
Minister.
I do not, no.
Member.
I'll stipulate, Chair, that is the Canadian firearm safety course that all gun owners in Canada have to do to get their firearms license. Has the minister ever done the Canadian firearm safety course?
The Honourable Minister.
Speaker, it's my third week on the job. No, I have not.
The Honourable Member.
Does the minister know what safety classes and safety demands are expected of law-abiding Canadian gun owners?
The Honourable Minister.
This is not about law-abiding gun owners, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable Member.
How can the minister make that claim when he doesn't know the basic fundamentals of law-abiding gun ownership in this country, Chair? Vice Chair, does the minister know what an RPAL is?
Have I mentioned Don't Be Canada? Have I mentioned that yet in this stream? Don't be Canada. Don't elect people like this, who knows nothing. He knows nothing. He's not qualified for the job. He's just nothing. He's just the guy who's there to say, we got rid of guns. We got rid of a farmer's shotgun. So now you'll be safe. That's what he's there for. Don't be Canada. Wherever you are right now, don't be Canada. Here we go. Canada's looking great. Canada is doing great. Just great. Diversity is working out wonderfully here. Students from Pine Ridge Secondary School in Pickering, Ontario, walking the streets chanting, Israel is a terror state. Why is the education system in Ontario condoning this? Let's take a look.
It's a terror state! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine!
okay, in case you hadn't noticed, the purpose of schools now, from kindergarten all the way up to graduate school, is to create radicals, revolutionaries. This is just trading for the Red Guard, for the modern Red Guard. That's all that this is. Everybody should be fired. If it was up to me, if I was Emperor of Canada, they would all be fired. I would level the school, level it, bulldoze it, right? And I would I'd just put a park there or something. I would make sure there was never a school there again, and I would remove all record of the school from history. I would just remove it like it never existed. And even that wouldn't be enough. Why is this? Is this enriching Canadian culture? Why do we need this? Who wanted this? Nobody voted for this. This is lunacy. This is brainwashing. They are doing nothing less than trying to train a generation into being their own personal Red Guard. Because underneath all of this, always is Marxism. Every single time you'll find all the people organizing this shit are all Marxists. Every single time. Rosie says, "Don't Be Canada" is sad. It is sad. It makes me extremely sad. Canada was a great country. A great country. The country I grew up in was an awesome country. That has been lost. That has been lost. I mean, really, the last straw was it was when Trudeau was elected. When Trudeau was elected with his promise of sunny ways, and he was going to legalize pot. That's what he really got elected on, was legalizing pot. In 10 years, he destroyed this country. This country went from a place where a young couple, no matter where they lived in the country, could have an expectation if they worked hard and it was getting more expensive. Things were changing, but it wasn't this insane, reckless, heedless charge into insanity. But in 10 years, it went from a country where most young people, if they worked hard, they could start a life together. They could buy a little house with a backyard where they could have a dog and they could have a kid, could run around. A couple of kids could run around, and they wouldn't have to commute 8 hours to work every day. That's gone. That's now gone. There's some places in the country where you can still do that, even though even that is everywhere. It's a lot harder. It's not as impossible everywhere in the country, but a lot of parts of the country, that dream is gone. It's just not possible unless they've got wealthy family, unless they inherit. It's just not possible anymore. Can you call yourself a first world country when most of the young people in it have no hope of building a better life for themselves? Can you still call yourself a first world country? That happened in 10 years in Canada. 10 years Trudeau did that. Mark Carney is maxing it out now. He's speed running it. You saw what Trudeau was able to get away with. By the way, under his advisement, right? Mark Carney was advising Trudeau for 5 years. We know it was in the newspapers in 2020. I've shown the articles. They're talking about what a great thing this is. The economic genius, this responsible guy, Mark Carney. He saw that Trudeau did what he said. He decided, hey, I got to elect these idiots, these fucking morons elected me. He's speed running it now. Did I mention 800,000 people in the first 4 months? While we have rising unemployment, while we're actually losing jobs, and we have a housing crisis, and we have a healthcare crisis, and we have an every goddamn thing crisis. Holy crap, I am angry tonight. I'm on fire tonight. I don't think I've had this kind of extended level of rant in me in ages. I must be feeling good. I went for 2 walks earlier. 2. Count them. 1, 2. And I took my car in because I like to get everything checked out before I do my road trips because I'll be doing a lot of driving. So I got that done good and early before the trip, and it ended up costing me like $800, which I wasn't expecting. So fuck that shit. That put me in a nasty mood. That might have gotten some of the rant boiling up inside of me. I don't know. I don't even know what's happening anymore. Who am I? Where am I? What's going on? What's my name? I don't know. I'm losing it, people. I am losing my goddamn mind. And who can blame me? Look at this. You've got the fucking Hamas. You got the high schools marching for Hamas now. What the hell? This is Canada. I liked Canada better when it wasn't Gaza. I think most people like their countries better when they're not Gaza. Don't you like yours more when it's not Gaza? Nobody asked for it. This wasn't on anybody's platform. Vote for me and you'll live in Gaza. Holy shit. What's going on with me? What's going on with me? I think the news broke me, people. I think it broke me. Maybe what I need is some more rant juice. Maybe it's as simple as that. Maybe it's as simple as just a touch more rant juice. All right. I'm doing it. I'm going to, I got to take a couple of minutes, people, because I ran out of rant juice. Let's put on, do you guys want noodles, or I will wait to leave until you let me know. Do you want noodles or do you want sandwich? Noodles or sandwich? What do you guys want? Or do you want fence? Do you want fence lady? I mean, these are pretty much our three top educational videos, aren't they? The fence video, the noodle video, and the sandwich video. Let's see. What are you guys saying? Raider Streamer says, noodles. Oh, no. Don't you? No, Rosie. Don't you guys talk about the U word. Not now. Not when I'm vulnerable. All right. Well, I'm going noodle. The only one answering so far is, now is he saying sandwich? Rosie's saying chocolate. What? There's no chocolate video. What chocolate video? There's no chocolate video. So I don't know. I gotta say I'm gonna have to pick noodles or sandwich. JJ always wants noodles. Maybe, I guess we can't have either. We'll have to find a different one. JDL says energy. We're gonna do bruschetta. All right. So here we go. You know, I want to do the They Them Energy video so badly, but I told Spambot I was going to put a moratorium on for 3 videos, and I gotta stick with my word. I want to do it so badly, though. I want to play. I feel like I need that They Them Energy video right now. I feel like it's the only thing that gives my life meaning. There should be a chocolate video. I'll have to look for a chocolate video. Okay, but anyway, it's bruschetta. Bruschetta, I'll be right back, you guys. God damn. I forgot about the glitch while I was getting my rant juice. I forgot about the glitch. Got to get my shit together. Who amongst you would dare not subscribe to the channel right now or to like the stream? Who? Some people call Pete. Some people call Pete Booty Judge. Some people mispronounce his name and they call him Pete Booty Juice. Pete Booty Juice. I don't know what it means. I just know that it's gross. No. Don't you be using the U word. No. We're not having any of that. By the way, I've been on some killer rants tonight. I don't know what's happened. It's like I'm possessed or something. Not really, but, possessed by caffeine? I don't know. Just seems like my brain is just on a ranting tear tonight. I don't know what's going on. I think it might be because I got new pillows. Because I've just been feeling like crap all year. And anyway, last 2 days ago, I decided to wash all my sheets and everything and my pillowcases. And I took the pillow out of the pillowcase. And I thought, this pillow used to be white. And now it's brown, like actually brown. And I thought, that's probably like bacteria or something. And I don't like live in a hovel, but, I'm just a dude. And then I looked at another one. It was like that, too. And so I immediately ordered new pillows. And I got them really fast. And they're nice and they're white and they're not brown. And like originally they were white pillows, but now they're brown. And they're really beat up. I've had them for like years. And anyway, so I thought, I bet you that those pillows are just like 30% at least bacteria. So I got the new ones with the clean pillowcases. And do you know what? I think those pillows might have been making me sick. I think they were chock full of bacteria. It's not like I never wash my sheets and stuff. Just for some reason, my brain just doesn't work with this stuff. I just don't think, like pillow that's half bacteria. Like literally, like half of its weight is bacteria. So anyway, I got these new pillows and I'm feeling pretty good. So I don't know. All right. Anyway, probably not a good idea to have pillows that are 50% is just like bacteria biomass, I think. Let's see. Izzy doesn't want any boots juice. No. Izzy says probably needs new pillows too. I'm telling you, it might be causing ill health. If you have a pillow full of bacteria, even if you're washing your pillowcases, it's still bacteria. Let's see. Rosie says maybe it's the 5 stages of grief, stage 2 anger. Maybe you're right. Because I was very grief is a good word for that last election. It's like I couldn't believe it. So now I'm on stage 2 anger. What's stage 3? Is that moving to El Salvador? All right. What, you're trying to get me to play links here? I don't know what the hell's going on that. All right, let's take a look. I'll check it out first. Then we'll see about this link. Paste it. All right. We'll see about this famous link. You guys keep trying to get me to show this. I've seen this in the thing. I've got some of the stuff you guys have sent. But I am creeped out by these things of kids talking. It really creeps me out. So you guys have been sending this to me, and I haven't intentionally not showing it, even though I've got some of your other stuff. But this one, it creeps me out, the whole kids talking thing. I don't know. I'll play it, though, if you guys are insisting on it.
Okay, double click on my computer. I can see your computer. No. Click on my computer on your computer. How can I click on your computer from my computer? There is an icon labeled my computer on your computer. Double click it. What the hell? What is your computer doing on my computer? Double click on your computer. Which icon do I have to click? My computer. Tell me, where do you live? I go to your house to click on your computer. Oh my God.
All right, that was pretty good. I'll admit it. That was pretty good. All right. All right, let's just keep going here. So yeah, Canada's a shithole. And it's bad. So let's keep going. So okay, one more. We got a little more Canada here. From Kirk Lubimov posted this. Canada's York Regional Police are back with Retardation Act 2. Let's see. Last week they were doing some Indian dance, and this time they've got a gentleman doing a drag. Is this drag? Is this? I don't know anymore. I guess it's drag. I guess, or now is it just trans? Or notice that when the drag acts come out, all the diversity disappears, and it's only white beta males who are left pretending to enjoy this because they have zero self-respect for whatever is left of their culture. So they just have to do this. Why are they isn't this kind of humiliating for them? They're being forced to go out. Are they really, did they really love this? I mean, this is another example of something that was pushed down. It was top down. It wasn't a grassroots movement. And for one thing, nobody had any problem with drag performances when they were just doing it like gay clubs and stuff, right? That was fine. Nobody cared. Adults go do adult things in adult places. Okay, no big deal. Nobody actually cared. It was never an issue before they before our overlords decided, you know what this children's story time is missing at this library? It's missing a man dressed up as a hypersexualized stereotype of a woman reading to these children, right? That's never going to be something demanded by the people, by the grassroots. That's something forced down, as everything progressive is forced down on the people. And TV tells them that everybody agrees, and if you don't like it, there's something wrong with you, and you're evil and far right and Putin and blah, blah, blah. And then these idiots just stand there. I mean, it's just embarrassing. Don't become Canada. This is just embarrassing at this point. Canada is not a serious country. It's a joke. What is the purpose of this? Who was demanding it exactly? I know that people are concerned because, crimes never get solved. People are concerned about that. I don't think people are demanding this. Why? This is oh, wait a second. You know what? This is not, yes, this is, yeah, okay, yeah. So I don't understand. Why does this have to happen? Every institution, my eyes. Carney's Canada, where we fund drag shows while families can't afford homes and call it progress instead of the distraction it really is. Yes, also vilifying the nuclear family as well. Have you had your abortion yet, dear? Come on, they have to be creating a parody. That's beyond atrocious. The whole thing has a very weird vibe, a nasty, awkward vibe, not normal. God forbid if they spend the same time promoting Canadian culture and families. That's not progressive, though. Don't you know that the nuclear family is white supremacy? It's whiteness. It's this evil force called whiteness that permeates the whole universe. You can never get away from it, and it's super scary. So you just are going to have to do what TV says. They'll keep you safe. This is the last bit on Canada. I mean, Canada used to be a boring country, by the way. It used to be a boring country. Not anymore. Now it's just like this freak show, right? It's just this kind of car crash that people in foreign countries can watch and go, oh, heaven forbid that ever happens where I live. Let's not forget, this is posted by Ryan Garrettson. Let's not forget, those crossing our border claiming asylum get more money per day than the average Canadian citizen does working. It's outrageous. $240 per day, 7 days a week. Maybe we should stop bringing in people that are just going to be dependents. Like, we're kind of full. Everything's falling apart. Our infrastructure is breaking under the pressure of this liberal mass immigration obsession. Average cost per room across all sites, $140 per night per room. Yeah, just taxpayers just pay for that, no problem. 84 days per day per claimant. It's just all madness. Canada is a cautionary tale for the world. All right, let's just move on. Let's look at some memes. All right. Concerned citizen who agrees. Folks will get offended, but it's the truth. Learning English should be a requirement for citizenship. That's just common sense. You can't fully function in a country if you can't speak the language of the country. This is just crazy. Oh my God. Oh my God. Rosie has just donated $1 to the channel. You know what that means? We have a ceremony to commence. Rosie is officially the best person who has ever lived. This is an honor reserved for those who donate to the channel in some way. Large or small, it doesn't matter. You get best person status either way. You can donate. You can get a membership to the channel, which is an awesome way to support the channel. Ask Spambot about that. He's #1 in that department. You can gift memberships to people. It's a fantastic thing to do. In any case, all you have to do, I mean, literally, is this the best deal in all of history? Rosie, guess what? Ever. That must be satisfying. That's all I'm saying. All right. Anyway, and Izzy says, way to go, Rosie. Best person ever. Thank you, Rosie. I really do appreciate it. Folks will get offended, but it's the truth. Learning English should be a requirement for citizenship. That just makes way too fucking much sense for Canada, doesn't it? Excuse my French. Canadian Patriot posted this. I want to preserve the culture and traditions of my people. I want to preserve the culture and traditions of my people. Sounds fair enough. Oh, such a noble cause. Horrible middle-aged leftist woman says, I want to preserve the culture and traditions of my people. Right-wing fascist. That's it. Just right out in the open. Just right out in the open. The double standard, the Orwellian double standard. That is just, this meme is reality. That is the modern world. It's enough to drive you crazy and make you go on crazy rants on the internet constantly. I find, let's see, my generation will start a revolution. My generation will start a revolution. My ass, your generation can't work 40 hours in a week, can't decide whether you're a boy, a girl, or other, and can't eat meat without crying. Oh! She's very worried about a drone following her in the Mediterranean right now on her little vacation to Gaza. Let's see. I know one of you guys sent this to me. I still hate commies, even after they changed their name to liberals. Yep, they tried to trick everybody. It's not working. We know that they're dirty, filthy commies. This one is a classic. I think this is now a modern classic. Why can't Alex just accept me for who I am? It's a gay frog. A gay frog. You leave that frog alone, Alex Jones. You leave him alone. That gay frog. He didn't ask for it. It was the chemicals in the water. Let's see. What's this? We sacrificed this for a higher GDP. That's just depressing. That's just depressing. How to kindly tell someone your child doesn't need to go see a drag show. It's nice. It's nice. People who trust the government to be like, oh yeah, slowly boiling. Slowly boiling. I like this one. There's a Hamas fighter with Greta there. Because she's on that sailboat, right? She's on that boat. She is just for every wrong thing, Greta. Every wrong thing. What's going on here? Martin O'Reilly. Any suggestions on how I can appear more feminine? Do you guys have any? Let's see. What does this say at the bottom here? From Carl Waters. Sure, don't rest your nutsack on the sink. Sure, don't rest your nutsack on the sink. That is a bit more feminine, isn't it? It's one way. It's one way. Like, a lot of these guys, they just seem like he's a guy who just like owned a deli or something and just like, I don't know, bunked his head. It's weird. It's strange. What's this? Men only want one thing and it's disgusting. Then wash it. Oh, I just gave myself a cramp laughing too hard at that. But I can't stop laughing. Oh, God damn it. I got to stand up for a second. Hold on. Oh, you ever do that? You just laugh so hard and suddenly that you just get a cramp, like you pull a muscle in like your rib cage. Okay, I got to try not to laugh for a couple of minutes. I think I stretched it out though. Yikes. Then wash it. Okay, can't laugh. I got to stop. Okay, if CNN existed in 1941, Japanese flyover is mostly peaceful. What is weird is the satire stranger than the reality with like CNN, for instance? I don't know. When the rescue, good boy, pit bull, eat your baby. We saw this one yesterday. Heroic pit bull swim. Heroic pit bull swims 5 miles out to sea to bite a child. They see a child. They can't help it. What was this one? Did we do this one? I did some financial planning, and it looks like I can retire at 97 and live comfortably for 11 minutes. He's Canadian. What kind of madness do we have here? From Carnelian, but it's not a cult, right? Let's see. From Stats for Lefties, let's see. So the communist fist, and then the trans thing, and then death before detransition. What does that mean? Like, what does that mean exactly? Like, for one thing, who's going to force you to detransition? And what does it mean? Like, if there's like a kid who's been brainwashed and is regretting it and is miserable, like they should die before they detransition because it's a cult? Is it a cult, do you think? Is this a cult? But it's not a cult, right? I feel like it might be a cult. I feel like it might be a cult. You see a lot of this kind of very dark shit around this. There's a lot of violent rhetoric. There's a lot of very violent threats against what they call TERFs, the trans exclusionary radical feminists. I think the last 7 mass shooters have all been they, thems. There's a very, very dark side to this, huh? And actually very male, strangely. All right, so this is kind of long, but I don't know if one of you guys sent it to me or not, but this is really good. This is actually from, when is this from? I think it's from 2013. It's from a long time ago. This is, I think it's around 2013 that this, hold on a second. Let's grok it. This is when all of right when all the stuff was first starting to kind of make it out into the public, where people kind of, this video originally from 2020. Okay. So this is 5 years ago. All right. So this is after it was emerging into, the public consciousness. Hold on one second. All right. Hold on. Here we go. This is it. All right. So it's fascinating, and you can really see the workings and the tactics of the progressives, the radical leftists, the gender theorists. It's all just laid out here, right? The absolute total immunity to reality, and how they don't actually care about reality or facts or anything. It's just, no, we must follow this weird death cult no matter what. Let's take a look. This is very interesting.
Okay, so actually, it seems you're acting like this is a spurious connection. So we're going to play Jeopardy. We're going to play queer theory. We're going to play queer theory, pedophilia, Jeopardy. Okay, answer. Commonly called the godfather of queer theory.
Who is Foucault?
Who is Foucault?
I got it.
Okay, 100 points. Foucault. Another way to ask this is, who argued? No, I guess the answer would be argued for the eradication of age of consent laws, as in down to infants.
Who is Foucault?
Thank you. Okay, next one. The author of the founding document of queer theory.
Who is Gail Rubin?
Who is Gail Rubin? What percentage? No, the answer is 50%. Question is?
The amount in that article that was a defense of pedophilia, specifically, quote, boy lovers, so men with tough boys.
Oh.
So the encouraging thing about this video, and Grok said it's 2020. I'm certain this was going back to about 2013, somewhere around there, when all this stuff was just first starting to kind of really emerge from the universities into the public awareness. But the encouraging thing in this, at least in this classroom, you can tell that the majority of the students there are on board with rationality. They like this professor. They're accepting what he's saying. They're accepting the facts. And it sounds like it's just a minority, what would you call them? What would you call them, Justin Trudeau?
Small fringe minority?
Yeah, a small fringe minority of lunatics that he has to contend with. So let's continue.
And since you're not believing me, quote, this is in the founding document of queer theory. Like communists and homosexuals in the 1950s, boy lovers are so stigmatized that it is difficult to find defenders of their civil liberties, let alone for their erotic orientation. That's in the founding document of queer theory. I'm sorry, I'm using facts. A thousand apologies. One must never let facts in the way. Oh, and she also compared, by the way, she compared pedophilia to a preference for spicy food. The thing is, I have never heard of anyone who has to have years of therapy because they ate hot and sour soup. Okay, so up to 200. Now it is pedophilia and queer theory for 300. That would be author of Macho Sluts. Author of Macho Sluts and Public Sex. Pat Califia. Wait. What was it somebody said? Stay relevant.
The lunatics that are interrupting, they don't object to the fact that the creators, the originators of queer theory were pro, like, essentially pedos. They were. I mean, not essentially. They were in favor of pedophilia. Right? The people interrupting, they're not objecting to that as a factual statement, right? That doesn't bother them. What bothers them is it being talked about openly. So they don't want people to know that part of their theory, right? They object to people knowing what they actually believe. Anyway, let's continue.
You want to talk about trying to uplift women because of the rape culture. If you're not going to uplift every single fucking woman, then no, you're exclusionary. You're not a fucking revolutionary, and it's bullshit.
Did you hear that? You're exclusionary. You're not a revolutionary. Right? Like, when I say that they're being trained to be revolutionaries, right? This is what I'm talking about. Like, they understand they're being trained to be revolutionaries. Their teachers are telling them they're training to be revolutionaries. This is critical pedagogy, which is taken over in the West while everybody was asleep. They're well aware of it, right? She's saying that it's bad that he's not a revolutionary. Everybody's supposed to be revolutionary. When I call them the Red Guard, the modern Red Guard of the West, okay, that's 100% accurate.
Okay, let's talk about Pat Califia.
Why don't you respond? Because I can't respond. Fucking transphobe.
Okay, here's something from one of Pat Califia's books. You know, it's really interesting. It's really interesting that when I actually start talking about the relationship between queer theory and anarchism and pedophilia, that it becomes, they really want to shut me up now. Okay.
Yeah, they want to shut them up. It's not because they disagree with, like, Foucault or any of them, right? They just don't want people to know that that's part of the revolution. Literally, it's part of the, it's destroying, it's like, Mao's Four Olds, right? It's destroying all the old customs, everything. They feel that's necessary to build the new world on top of the ashes of the old. That's why she accuses him of not being a revolutionary. It's bad in her mind for anybody to not want to destroy everything to build this awful Orwellian nightmare world on top of it.
So here's Pat Califia. Pat Califia. Oh, wait, just a second. I was accused of homophobia because I'm against pedophilia. Who is it who actually makes the connections between that? Shoes, looking for. Okay, here's something by Pat Califia. Pat Califia has written, any child old enough to decide whether or not she or he wants to eat spinach, play with trucks, or wear shoes is.
By the way, that's why you have that alphabet soup of the LGBTQ, SL, whatever, plus. They're always adding new ones on. It's so that whatever crazy, weird thing, whatever awful thing, like, say, like pedophilia, that you might say, okay, like what he's pointing out here, the connections between that and queer theory and the people who created queer theory, they can say, oh, well, you're against gays because it's in that alphabet soup that we're always trotting out. That's the reason, is to create this artificial connection. That's why you see there's a lot. It seems to me there's a movement for the L's and the G's to separate themselves from the T's and the Q's and the pluses. The plus, as far as I can tell, is just whatever fucking crazy thing they know exists. They just don't know what to call it yet. But it's a strategy. That's the purpose of it, right? So they can defend the indefensible, like child sex changes, for instance. And they'll say, well, if you're against that, you must be against, if you're against, the T for children, then you must be against the, L's and the G's and the B's as well, because they're part of the alphabet soup that we've created. It's this really awful, cynical thing, which actually hurts gay people, lesbians enormously. Anyway, let's continue.
Old enough to decide whether or not she wants to run around naked in the sun, masturbate, sit in someone's lap, or engage in sexual activity, by which she does not mean play doctor. She means with adults. She's very clear about that because she also says that pedophiles should be more and not less invested in children's lives. Okay, so we're at 300. 400 is the most famous queer theorist of today. Answer. No, it is not Judith Butler. It's who is Judith Butler?
Okay, I think we've seen enough. But you have to understand, every professor in every university who teaches queer theory knows all of this and approves of it. So just let that sink in. You can't do queer theory unless you agree with it. It's what it is. Right? It's like, as I say, it's like the Democrat Party or the Liberal Party in Canada now, like changing, moderating their language. They can't. They are what they are. What they are now, which is not your father's parties or your grandfather's parties, what they are right now, these radical, progressive Marxist parties, they are what they are. Their ideology precludes them from being reasonable or rational. Don't wait for it. Don't expect it. Don't hold your breath. It ain't coming. Let's see. Woke Mind Virus. What's going on here? More woke Mind Virus. I actually haven't watched this video yet from Dr. Jebra Fauché, who is a parody account and always has new hilarious profile pictures. Don't say they all look the same. As you can see here, all liberals look completely different. And yes, I am being sarcastic. They look like they were all created on an assembly line and spit out into society. So let's take a look. This should be fun.
Why do y'all assume everybody on the left looks like this? I look like this because I want to. I have looked like this since I was in middle school.
Why do you have dead eyes, though? Anyway, I can't play the music. Why am I doing playing the music? I'm getting tired. Let's see. They all look the same. They all do look the same. Why are they all dead behind the eyes, though? Why is that? Is it their ideology that did that to them? Is it the drugs? I don't know. It's weird, though. It's super, super weird. Let's see. They all look the same. They all do the same thing. They all believe exactly the same thing. Each one of these people, you can predict with 100% accuracy what they believe about literally anything. And that, my friends, does not make you a rebel. It does not make you a revolutionary. It does not make you subversive. Especially when pretty much everything you believe is pretty much fine with all the ladies on The View. Any of these people could go on The View and probably none of them would have any kind of dispute with them whatsoever. They'd probably clap and tell them they're brave and they're so interesting and so individualistic. Yeah, they look like they were just made on an assembly line. They really do. All right. Where are we going now? What will we do now? Good morning, everyone. This is the woman who's been hired by the Democrats as part of their $20 million scheme to trick young men into supporting the Democrats, the party that demonizes them. She's on it. She's on the case, boys. Watch out. All right. We're on to the last tab of the evening. We're 3 hours in. We still got a bunch more stuff for you guys. We're going to hang on. By the way, if you're not subscribed to the channel, what the hell are you thinking? Subscribe right now. Super important. Everybody's doing it. Also, liking the stream. Big deal. Everybody loves liking the stream. It's the most important thing. How will you even know how good it feels if you don't try? Try. Be adventurous. Do what you can. What were these here? What did I have these for? Oh, I know what that one is, and that's her. What was this? Oh, so I think these are for some stuff that's in here. This is going to take us a while to get through this last tab as well. So if you need a coffee or something, grab it, because we're going to still be going for a while. All right. So let's just have some palate cleansers. The dog's expression at the end. It's funny. He's like, he's not sure what's going on. Is something bad going to happen? He's like, and then the end. Oh, that was it. Oh, that's pretty good. Maybe we should do a bit of chat, though, before we get into this. How about some fence lady? We love the fence lady. Let's see. It's pouring rain where Rosie is, apparently. Let's see. Rosie says, satire, the reason the bee is so good, we live in upside down world. It really is. And it happened really relatively quickly. Rosie says, groomers, cult, yeah, about the queer theory people. Yes. Rosie says, if sexual boundaries are destroyed, people are more compliant. Yep, that's part of it. Candle Monkey. Candle Monkey asks, hey, everyone. Hey, Richie. How's Canada? Canada's retarded. Do you know what? I guess, how is Canada? I think Sarge says it best.
Holy Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that?
That's what Sarge said about Canada. That's what he said. What did Woodnail say about it, though? I don't know. What did he say about Canada?
You can stuff it up your ass for nothing and fuck off while you're doing it.
Yeah. Bad stuff. Bad stuff. All right. As he says, Canada is sad and gay and broke. Don't forget broke. All right. Well, I guess that, I guess we'll just keep going. Let's do it. So we saw that dog who's funny. Finally, he boarded. So what's going on here? So I don't know what language that is, but there's a kangaroo. That's like, is that like acrylic or something? It's like a Russian kangaroo. He looks pretty happy. Cyrillic or acrylic? I think it's Cyrillic, isn't it? Yeah, I don't know. That's just interesting. It's just a kangaroo on a flight eating some peanuts, and he's very well behaved. Seems like a pretty cool kangaroo to me. Oh, nothing to complain about there. It's this. So this is just weird. I don't know what to make of this. From Jebra Fauché again. This rare Mentos commercial is allegedly only shown in foreign countries. Do you remember seeing this extraordinary piece of filmmaking in the U.S.? I've never seen this before. Mentos commercial. All right, let's take a look.
It doesn't matter what comes, fresh goes better in life. With Mentos fresh and full of life. Nothing gets to you, staying fresh, staying cool. With Mentos fresh and full of life. Fresh goes better, Mentos fresh. Fresh goes better with Mentos fresh and full of life. Mentos, the fresh.
So that guy's tiny. I don't know what's going on here. He must be famous or something. Is he like maybe like the, I don't know, like the Filipino Danny DeVito or something? I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I just know that I like it.
It doesn't matter what comes, fresh goes better in life.
Little guy's getting some. I don't know. It's weird. I don't get it, but I like it. I want more. Let's see. So this is a strange one. One of you guys sent this to me. I can't remember who sent it to me. A new one for me. I'm not sure I understand this, but one of you guys, maybe it was Rosie, maybe it was Spambot, I don't know. Somebody felt this was important enough, so I'm going to play it.
Hey, look. It's a Pepsi truck without a lift gate. You never trust them without the lift gates. It's not what you think inside there. If there's no lift gate, it's run by the government. I'll get closer and show you. Look how perfect it is. What do you think's inside that trailer? Pepsi's? No. He won't let me catch up to him. He knows I'm on to him. Never trust a Pepsi truck without a lift gate. Keep your distance. You don't know what's inside.
I don't know. I kind of feel like this might be a bit of paranoia, to be honest. He's warning you, though, so I don't know. You can take his advice or not. Avoid the Pepsi trucks that don't have the lift gate. Do as you will. It looks like the Rumble Studio has stopped feeding the chat into Rumble Studio, which means it won't be going up on the screen, which means it'll be the same comment stuck there. So maybe I'll just turn it off for now. There's no point just having the same comments up there all night. All right. There we go. All right. All right. Nature is amazing. If black, fight back. If brown, lay down. If white, good night. So this is the rule for bears, I guess. Let's take a look. This is terrifying. At the end of this month, I'm going a place where there's lots of these guys. So I guess I better watch just in case. That'll get your heart pumping. Yeah, I think the black bears, they really don't want any part of you. So they're just going to kind of do their own thing if you startle them. I guess if they've got cubs, you might be in a spot of trouble. But and they're good at climbing trees, too. Better than you are. So that's a good thing to know. Radio Streamer says, ain't no way in hell I would stop. Let's see. He could have whizzed past. I don't know, though. I don't know. Those things are pretty fast. If you startle them like that, they might jump you. And then you're in big time trouble because they might eat you because they'll do that sort of thing. I guess they get a taste for you. Let's see. Farmer explaining why liberals' push for electric vehicles is currently impossible for farming. So let's take a look at this. What is this guy saying? I mean, I know they want like everything zero emission vehicles in Canada by 2035. It's crazy the idea they think this can actually work, but let's take a look.
Someone asked why we don't use electric tractors to seed with, and here's why. I see It's like taking off a pair of jeans that's too tight, or, you know, you're finally out of the office and you're not making calls anymore, and it's just like, oh, your brain can just breathe. But yeah, electric would be awesome, but we are very, very far away from that. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, so maybe we should do the thing that doesn't cause famine. That actually works for making food. A lot of this green stuff, like especially in Canada with this insane mandate by 2035, which it starts next year, by the way, the first steps in it. It reminds me of like Mao with his command to like kill all the sparrows because he thought he was eating like they were eating the crops. And so the bugs ate the crops instead because there were no sparrows, because everybody just killed every sparrow they saw. And then there was a massive famine and like 5 million people starved to death. That's the, you know, the end game for woke dysfunction, right? It's just this little dysfunction. It starts with little things and it builds and builds and builds until it gets into like agricultural policy. And then people actually starve to death for ideology, for somebody's ideology. I thought we would take a look at this trailer. The first trailer for Noah Hawley's Alien Earth has been released. Now, I love the first two movies, and I would love there to be another great Alien like movie or franchise, but not, I mean, there's been a couple after that have been kind of okay. There's been some stuff that's been really bad. I don't know. What do you guys think of this? So this is a TV series. Hulu. So let's just take a quick peek here.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
How's our girl?
She's ready.
You're going to be the first person to transition from a human body to a synthetic.
Because I'm
Transition. Is this going to have like gender theory overtones? I'm not liking this already. All right.
special.
That's right. You're very, very special.
Now, this is supposed to take place, I believe, before the original Alien show, or maybe it's between Alien 1 and Aliens, but they didn't have that kind of technology in either, especially the first one, right? It was quite, it seemed to be fairly limited. It didn't seem like they had that advanced of a technology anyway. But anyway, let's continue.
We have a downed spacecraft.
I want what's on that ship.
We can do it. We're fast. We're strong. We don't break.
It's like a zoo, but the animals got out.
This ship collected 5 different life forms from the darkest corners of the universe. Monsters.
Now, if they could, back at that point in the timeline, transfer people's consciousness into robots, then what was the movie? The Prometheus, where it was Guy Pearce playing the very, very old guy who goes on these hiding on the spaceship in the secret room, and they get to the planet. And if you've seen, I think it's Prometheus was the one. Why wouldn't he have done that, the old guy, and just put himself into the robot's body that was in that movie? I think it was called David. I don't know. I don't know if I'm liking the looks of this. I got to be honest.
Invasive species. Predatory.
we don't lock them down, it will be too late.
I don't know. I mean, I'm going to watch it, obviously. My prediction is I watch it and I'm done before the end of the first episode, because that is the 98% of shows that I watch now. I'll watch the first episode and I get about halfway, 60%, 70% through, and I go, I know what they're doing. I've seen this before. This is prioritizing ideology. This is gender swapping. This is wokeness. This is more a political screed than anything else. And I stop watching because you just know how it's going to go. Right. I think with the Rings of Power, now I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan. Those Peter Jackson movies, not the Hobbit ones, but the Lord of the Rings movies, I think is just probably the best series of 3 films, the best trilogy of all time. It's fantastic. I've watched those movies probably, and I'm talking about the extended ones too, that are like 4 hours each. I must have watched each of those movies probably 20 times. Love them. The battle scenes, everything is just great. I read those books when I was younger, probably 3 times. Love it. Read the Silmarillion, read a bunch of stuff around it. And I got 60% of the way through the first episode of Rings of Power and went, this is woke trash. It's not going to get better. I'm done. And it turns out I was totally right and everybody agreed. So what are you guys saying? Radio Streamer says, I'm calling it. Feminism takes another movie down. We are fast, we are strong, we don't break, and all women are feminine, they, thems. They, thems. Well, they're supposed to be robots, but yeah, I mean, it's all... Yeah, they just weave in their weird ideologies just to prove a point into everything, and they make it really obvious, and they don't care about the story, and they end up with just trash. Radio Streamer says, also, the men will all die, and women will save it. Obviously, yeah. Rosie says, because then there would be no movie. So, when will they learn? I'll watch it. And I'm predicting I will not get through the first episode before realizing that, there's no hope. It's just garbage. I wanted to show you this. Today is June 6th. That's D-Day. So Omaha, Utah, sword, Juno, gold, beaches, D-Day, World War II. And I thought it would be interesting and appropriate to listen to this. BBC radio newsreader John Snag gives the first news of the D-Day landing at 9:32 a.m. to the British public. I listened to this earlier. It's absolutely fascinating.
This is London. London calling in the home, overseas, and European services of the BBC and through United Nations Radio Mediterranean. And this is John Snag speaking. Supreme Headquarters, Allied Expeditionary Force, have just issued communique number 1, and in a few seconds I will read it to you. Communique number 1. Under the command of General Eisenhower, Allied naval forces, supported by strong air forces, began landing Allied armies this morning on the northern coast of France. I'll repeat that communique. Communique number 1. Under the command of General Eisenhower, Allied naval forces, supported by strong air forces, began landing Allied armies this morning on the northern coast of France. This ends the reading of communique number 1 from Supreme Headquarters, Allied Expeditionary Force.
I mean, that sends shivers down my spine. What a piece of history that is. Wow. And, that guy, I'm sure could never have imagined what the BBC would become. That it would just become just purveyors of lies. There's something else I wanted to show you in here, too. Well, here's a Remembering D-Day, June 6, 1944. Must have been absolutely terrifying stepping off those. There was something else in here. Yes. So okay. So in 100 years, we have gone from teaching Latin and Greek in high school to teaching remedial English in college. Joseph Sobran. Now, I've read a bunch of books about World War II. The last one I read was about the founding of the British SAS Special Air Services in North Africa in World War II. It was in about 1940. And they had a bunch of letters that these guys had written home. And these were not like aristocrats. These are like working class guys who had volunteered for this incredibly dangerous job. And I'm telling you, it was just almost like a different species, because when you read their letters, they're so articulate. They come across as so intelligent. They're so well written that, and again, these weren't aristocrats. These weren't, Etonians, and like these were just regular working class people, but they'd obviously received such just an unimaginably superior education at that time than what you get now. I mean, these letters are articulate and interesting. They come across as interesting people. You can't imagine, like, there's very, very few, 19-year-old, 20, 21, 22-year-old guys today who would be writing letters like this home. It's really remarkable. It's almost like you read about these men and they're almost like a different species from and these are just normal people, right? Who've gone off to war. It's a crime what public school has done to the young people of the West. It's a crime, aside from lying to them about communism and all this stuff. Okay, so the left doesn't care about reality. Okay? Blue Sky Libs posted this from Amy Siskind. She's a leftist. Kilmar Abrego Garcia is on his way back to the U.S. Blue heart. Isn't that nice? Blue Sky Libs wrote, foreign gangbanger is coming to the U.S. She writes, Kilmar, and I mean, the name, it almost sounds like Kilmore, doesn't it? Kilmar Abrego Garcia is on his way back to the U.S. Blue heart, because it's so nice, and reality doesn't mean anything. And let me show you something. Western Lensman, actual CNN headline about Abrego Garcia being returned to the U.S. to face charges for his role in an alien smuggling ring. An alien smuggling ring. This is the CNN headline. Man mistakenly deported to El Salvador has been returned to the U.S. They must hate you. These people must hate you. Let's take a look. I thought I'd take a look at some of the headlines here, see if it was a real CNN headline. Well, you can see CNN's headlines. It's not the same one. It turns out they changed them. We'll get to... you can see a couple of CNN headlines here, okay? Not the headline. Kilmar Abrego Garcia has been returned to the United States to face criminal charges. So this is what they replaced the original headline with. And how do I know that? How do I know that was the real headline? Because I did a bit more digging. Here from WYFF, I guess that's NBC, Channel 4. Man mistakenly deported to El Salvador, returned to U.S. to face criminal charges. CNN by Hannah Rabinowitz, CNN. So they obviously changed their headline after it started picking up some attention on X. But they did do that. And as you can see in a simple search here, hold on. Maryland man deported to El Salvador to return to U.S. Let's see. CTV News, Canada. Mistakenly deported man returned to U.S. Mistakenly deported man. Just so shameless. Bondi reveals disturbing facts about Dem darling Kilmar Abrego Garcia's human trafficking scheme. The defendant traded the innocence of minor children for profit, the Attorney General said Friday. The Department of Justice has secured the return of alleged human trafficker Kilmar Abrego Garcia and will prosecute and imprison him in the United States, Attorney General Pam Bondi said at a press conference Friday. So, as we see, CNN did run this headline: man mistakenly deported to El Salvador. Man mistakenly deported to El Salvador has been returned to the U.S. What a feel-good story that is. Boy, such a shame that guy was mistakenly deported to El Salvador. Just some guy, just a regular guy. Man, that orange man is bad, right? What a bad orange man that is. This is how you know they hate you. Leftism, progressivism will always favor the criminal over you. Always. They have to. It's part of their ideology. Anyway, I thought that was interesting. What's this? Why TF is it too scary me? Well, that's not very well.
Ever feel like you're being watched?
That's kind of weird. It's kind of a weird dog. I love the dog. I think he's a great dog. Kind of weird, though. It's a little weird. A little creepy. I say it's a little creepy. From Illuminati bot, Klaus Schwab has become increasingly bullish about his plans to hijack humanity, destroy sovereignty, and brute force a world government upon the world. Well, I mean, he'd be very bullish right now, seeing Mark Carney's success. His success in penetrating Canada. This time, Klaus Schwab has really penetrated Canada in a way that'll be very pleasing for him in his evil Bond villain way. Crazy world. What's going on here? Who's the boss? Oh, I see what's going on. So there's a little dog there. He's got the big dog bed, and then the big dog has to go into the little dog bed. Oh, it looks kind of sad. But he doesn't want to be mean. Oh, he kind of looks back. Oh, it's my bed. Dogs are great. You gotta love dogs. What's going on here? All right, white people, let's settle this one. Are you offended? No, I'm not offended. Not offended in the least. I think it's hilarious. Everybody can wear that. I don't care. Anybody can wear that Caucasian shirt. I don't care. Do whatever. I'd prefer it was Cortez, though, with like the Spanish helmet on and stuff. I like that better. But, still, this is fine for me. That's fine for me. Nobody's offended. We can all just get on with our lives. Let's see. The rapper, this is from Defiant Else, the rapper who sued Lyft. We covered this lady, didn't we? The rapper who sued Lyft after she was refused service for being too big to fit in a car has lost her case. Now she says she is being discriminated against. So let's see this. This is from Crime Time Tea Time on TikTok. All right, let's check it out. What's this lady saying?
Do you guys remember the Detroit rapper Dank DeMoss who sued Lyft?
Dank DeMoss. That feels weirdly appropriate. So this is the rapper here who was too fat to fit in the Lyft car.
After the driver told her that she was too big and was going to ruin his car? Well, guess what? She lost the lawsuit and says that is total BS because she was discriminated against and weight is a protected class in Michigan.
What is that? That's a front ass. That's not even a gunt. That's a literal front ass. Like, I don't know. When you've got an actual front ass, and it looks like maybe she's even got like an ass on her legs. She's just covered in ass. When you've got that, I think you just say, okay, if I'm being a problem, I'm being a problem. My apologies. I'm going to go for a walk now.
If you don't know what happened, back in January of 2025, the 500-pound rapper called for a Lyft ride. The driver pulls up in a Mercedes-Benz, and as she's walking towards the car, he locks the doors from the inside. He then rolls down the window, tells her there isn't enough room, and that she would, quote, flatten his tires if she got in.
If that was trying to get in my car, I'd roll up the windows and lock the doors too.
He then tells the driver that she could fit, and he responds, quote, believe me, you can't. She said that was absolutely humiliating, and because weight is a protected characteristic in the state.
Having a front ass isn't humiliating? She's got leg asses as well, covered in ass.
Of Michigan, she and her attorneys still feel like she was discriminated against, which ultimately is what led to the rumored to be multi-million-dollar lawsuit against Lyft.
So I don't know. I don't know. What happened to self-accountability? What happened to that, really? Let's see. And maybe we'll save this for tomorrow because we're going to do a premium only stream tomorrow. We're going to have a fun time tomorrow night. We'll do like an hour or two premium only stream. And because it's very exclusive, premium only, obviously, you might want to either subscribe to the, because I believe if you get a membership for the channel, you can see all the premium stuff, or get a premium subscription, because you don't just get my stuff with that. You get like Crowder and Tim Pool and Russell Brand and all that kind of stuff as well. So, but it's going to be fun. And I think we're going to do a lot of requests tomorrow. We'll do some rabbit holes, maybe. You guys can give me some rabbit holes to go down. I'll try and put some stuff together. But, we're going to keep it loosey-goosey. This gets worse the longer it goes. So, oh, jeez. Okay, let's watch this. No music. He's on the phone. And what does he do? Does he do? Yes. He does the stupidest thing you can imagine. He puts his phone on the barbecue. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. And onto the burning phone with the lithium battery onto the couch, onto the outdoor couch. Yeah. So don't do that. Don't do that. You must have been distracted. Multitasking isn't for everyone. Well, I learned a good lesson. Don't barbecue your phone and then throw your flaming phone onto furniture. I think we'll save this for tomorrow. What do we got here? Let the dog out to keep the bunnies away. The dog. This is what we call a palate cleanser right here. So there's the dog. There's the bunny. And he's not keeping them away. He's just looking at them like they're best friends. He seems quite content to hang out with the bunny. My question is, why is the bunny happy to hang out with the dog? Something tells me that perhaps the dog and the bunny already know each other and they're both pets. I think that's what's going on here. And this person has tried to trick us, but it didn't work because we're too smart. All right. Let's see. What are you guys saying? Let's see. Radio Streamer says, I'm just saying, want a strong female lead? Go watch the original two Terminators. Could not agree more. Believable, but strong. Also, too, especially the first Alien movie, Alien. And then also Aliens. Although I think the first one is superior, but Sigourney Weaver particularly in that first movie is an incredibly effective female lead who is strong but is also feminine. And it's played right because she's appropriately terrified. She's not like, she doesn't have the strength of a, 250 pound, 6'6" dude. She has courage, though. She has genuine terror that she manages to overcome with incredible courage. And she does it all while maintaining her femininity and not pretending to be a man. That first Aliens movie, a great female lead, and I'd say the Terminator movies too. Let's see. Radio Sherba says, LOL, front ass. Can't help but laugh. It's true. She did have a front ass. She did. I'm not just making that up. I don't care about that. I think right now we're getting pretty late. We're 3.5 hours in. This one was an all-timer. Let's see. Newsweek. Joe Biden appears to be a super ager, doctors say. January 7th, 2024. Joe Biden appears to be a super ager. Now, if they meant like super aging, like aging super fast, like literally like what's the word I'm looking for? Decomposing in front of your eyes. So that would make sense. The cynicism is so incredible. The gaslighting. This might be the most gaslighting around Biden that we actually seen. Super ager. I guess meaning that he is aging really well, like super. And keep in mind, this wasn't like 2019. This was 2024. Super ager. Holy crap. Yeah, the level of gaslighting, truly astonishing. Maybe we'll save the Victor Davis Hanson for tomorrow. We'll save it for tomorrow. How long is that? It's not that long, but I usually like to have a little bit of a good commentary on this, and I'm too tired at this point. My brain's getting too shriveled and exhausted. This one too, maybe we'll save. Video banned by TikTok. We'll save the rest of this. I think it's time. We'll say we're gonna need some stuff for tomorrow. We'll save this for tomorrow. All this stuff, these last like 10 videos, because we're already over 3.5 hours in. All right, I gotta watch that overtime. Nobody tell me anything about the Oilers game. I gotta watch the overtime, which I've recorded. So I'm afraid that's it. So another fine job in the chat. Another fine job in the chat tonight. You guys really, I think, maybe had your best night ever last night. Fantastic chat last night. When I say that you guys are half the show now, this is what I'm talking about. So, yeah, thanks everybody. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks to everybody who's hung out this long, this 3.5 hours. You guys are awesome. If it weren't for you guys, I wouldn't bother doing this because I'd be ranting out to a cold and different universe. But instead, you guys are there. So that makes it fun. All right. Everybody, wherever you're watching, thank you so much. I'll be doing a Rumble premium stream tomorrow night. That means you'll have to watch it on Rumble, and you'll either have to be a channel member or have a premium subscription. Well worth it. You care about free speech. That's something that you can do. So it won't be available on X or on YouTube, but it will be on Rumble. We'll be starting about 7 o'clock tomorrow night. Well, let's just say 7 o'clock. Let's just say 7. It's a hard 7 o'clock Pacific time. That'll be 10 o'clock Eastern. And we'll do an hour, 2 hours. If we're having a really great time, maybe we'll do 3. Who knows? But everybody have a great night. Have a great night, everybody. Have a great morning. And I hope to see you guys tomorrow night if you got the time. All right. Radio Streamer says, well done, Richie. Good night. Good night to you. Rosie says, nice show, Richie. Thank you, Rosie. Thank you so much. And thanks for that donation. Really appreciate it. Okay, everybody. See you soon. And thanks again.